have a long way there.
True.
I want to see them kind of apply the same rotations as FaZe do, because they can come in even later, all the way around, and then come in late, and then wait for the second circle to pop, and then they can approach that, because I feel like the northeastern side of the zone is very open at the moment.
Yeah. And looking at how they've been able to, I think we expect more from them, even in FPP, right, where of course Korea isn't as well versed as, say, the Western world, but after what we've seen from people like the likes of Eska, the overall gold roster, I think we expect them to be more than the current 11th place that's sat in right now.
And we're probably going to be seeing that today as well. I'm pretty sure that they haven't just gone to the hotel and went for a bit of a bath and a sleep.
Right.
They've been watching the videos, they've been understanding what's been going on. Of course, the circles haven't been the easiest for them either, so they're going to work on that as well. Perhaps they're going to get a bit lucky with a more eastern circle, or perhaps a military, as you were suggesting yesterday. I'm really looking forward to see if we can have one of those. But yeah, in those, they're usually very, very killer, and it's.
I mean, they're day 2 team, right? This is day 2.
Absolutely.
I want to see them to pull out the TPP day 2 madness they had. I want to see they pull out for that, for FPP as well, because I know they can. They're amazing fragger. Esk and Simpson, fantastic players.
Yeah.
I know they can do it. I hope they've been doing the same magic they did from day 1 to day 2 in TPP. I want to see the same magic applied to day 2 as well, because we need some sort of a miracle to stop OMG.
Yeah, and we'll see if some of these top teams can really do that. Something we want to talk about as well is our North American contingent, our teams representing North America. It's been a bit of a rough time for them. Currently, Honey Badger Nation sits at 7th place, whilst we have Team Gates at 15th, Ghost Gaming at 16th place at the moment. What does North America here need to change up to be able to kind of rise up the ranks here a little bit? How do they fare Miramar, for example? Open to your interpretation. Want to hear your thoughts.
First things first, when Ghost Gaming were going for it was a north-western circle as well. I noticed that they were going for kills first of all. They went to the Death Bridge in South Georgia Bowl, just to be east of that position, where you have a compound that you are able to gatekeep effectively teams out of. That didn't work out. They had only 2 kills, and then Black pushed them to kill them effectively. So it goes to show that they're not necessarily the most accustomed to that spot themselves. So I don't want to see them try and play for kills as much. You pointed that as well when we were watching the games. The future games as well, they tried some cheeky, I would call them questionable 2+2 splits or 3+1s that didn't work out. They didn't have visibility from one team to from one player to another, and that really ended up with their demise. So Ghost Gaming, they can definitely perform better, in my opinion, if their 2+2s are a bit well thought of, or perhaps if they stay as a squad.
For me, honestly, here, Ghost Gaming, I want to see them play the usual game. I saw their coach talk about it on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
We didn't play our game. We need to just focus on our strategies and execute those strategies. They have strategies. They just need to execute on it. I don't feel like they've been playing like they usually do, or how they want to apply their usual strategy just to the 20-team meta instead. Yes, I did like their bridge camp strategy, where they got a lot of kills. They pulled out 2 players. Good. They effectively took Welcome to Southers down to 2 players, but they still got a 4th in that game. And if you can salvage a game by getting 4th, it's much more valuable than getting 4 kills and outside the top 10.
Yeah. My big question then, before we actually get into our first game and really get the proceedings going here, is OMG, of course. They are far ahead of the pack right now. What, in your estimations, needs to happen for them to potentially be toppled, for them to not do as well on this day, to kind of throw away that lead? Because I think everyone's expecting them to come in with the same fury that they had yesterday. But what shakes that up? What changes it?
There's a lot of teams at the bottom at this current moment in time that could potentially go for spoilers. They could go for contested drops and go into OMG's looting grounds and try to block them off. I'm not too sure that that's going to be happening. Of course, in PUBG Esports, we don't have a gentleman's agreement, but it's kind of understood that everybody has their own kind of spot that they defended from the scrims period. So that's kind of well respected. What else could happen is they could potentially be teams like Liquid, like Navi, teams that like WTSG, who will play the edge if they have to, and those are very good teams and fights as well. If those teams meet up, it's going to be anybody's game. So for them to go out early, and of course for the consistency of WTSG and Liquid to show up, I think that's a fair possibility today.
I mean, we can't deny the dominance from yesterday. Lion KK had 24 kills. That's more kills than all the teams from 6th to 20 combined on the individual teams. That's absolutely insane. And also, Xiao Hai, he had more than the 7th teams and the individual teams combined down to 20 as well.
Yeah.
They had 41 kills together. They averaged 10 kills together, more than 10 kills together in each game. It's absolutely insane. So they need to be stopped somehow, and they need to go outside the top 15 multiple times a day for any team to catch up to them.
I mean, any circle that came up for them, or 3 out of the 4 games for me at least, it felt like that northwest region that OMG was able to control was uncontested for early to mid game, and then by the late game, they had so much power behind them.
I mean, when you only have 3 or 4 teams in 50% of the northern side of the circle, or northwestern side of the circle, and then you have 10 or 12 teams on the southeastern side, of course, these teams are going to find, and they did the right thing right there. They pushed in. They made sure that the northern side of the circle was theirs.
Yeah.
And they third-party fights on the other side of the circle, making sure that everybody else had an even harder time. Exactly.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it, of course. And if you look at competitive PUBG, there's always one side of the circle that tends to be a bit clearer, and it shows that the analysts and coaches of OMG have been doing their job into finding out what exactly those spaces might be in particular sets. And I think they've done an exemplary job. I'm just waiting to see what they're going to be doing today in Eastern and Melee circles.
I mean, and I sent Avenger away yesterday. I gave him some homework. You know, in the school of Kylaris, I was like, well, Avenger, you have a job for me. You have to find out what the loadouts are that they're preferring, liking, Lion KK, Zhao Hai. What did they like? Because I think we did eventually see a trend, because they were pretty much free looting.
They had a lot of loot, but what they preferred to play with was minis with 4x's, 6x's, and 8x's that they could get, and then M4s and scars. So they're adapting to the meta. They're playing the meta that is it right now. They're using ARs for short range, and then they're using DMRs for long range. Minis and SKSs, but mainly minis. They were rocking a lot of minis, and they were killing so many people, and they were doing a lot of damage to everybody else. 3,200 damage, Lion KK himself. That's insane.
Yeah, across 4 games especially. I think 800 damage is almost double what you see from an average pro gamer in this kind of setting. And also, you got to remember, when they were playing Miramar, they got themselves 3 crates. 3 crates. They had a Groza, they had an Org. I can't remember what was in the last crate because everything had just blended into one at that point. But they had options descend from the heavens and give them all the more firepower.
And that was for Miramar indeed, and they knew how to utilize all the the level 3 stuff that they got, plus the weapons.
Yeah.
But after that one, they didn't necessarily get that many crates. What they did get though was great team cohesion. I've never seen an Asian team perform like they do and get creative like they do. That was surprising to me.
And here's our tournament ranking at the moment. You can see OMG has a massive lead. The big question on everybody's minds is, will our 2 through 5 teams be able to try and step up to the plate here on day number 2 and topple OMG? Because, to be honest, OMG played an amazing day number 1. There's a lot of other teams there, and the important thing, I mean, you mentioned it before, Pubg, that a lot of these guys, a lot of the teams between that 2nd to 15th, 16th, 17th spot, and that's OMG currently in that top spot, and rightfully so. Lion KK, Zhao Hai have fragged out hard. But getting back to the point that we were talking about, everybody still has an opportunity to at least get through to that 2nd spot, because OMG took so many points away from everybody else that everyone is so close right now, Avenger.
I mean, you can, if you want to walk away with some money, we have 400,000 on the line for first place, 160,000, 100,000, down to 60. If you get 4th, you get $60,000 for your team. You win chicken dinners, it's $10,000. So obviously, there's still a lot of money to fight for. Yes, they have a huge lead, but I don't see anybody stopping. I mean, the teams from even 2nd to 10th, they can easily get to 2nd. They can easily contest Welcome Sargos if they don't keep their consistency as well.
And there they are. Yep, they had an amazing day number 1 as well, but as we mentioned before, slightly overshadowed by the current frontrunners in OMG. Welcome to South George. 2nd, 4th, 4th, 2nd. Those last 2 games, 13 kills and 11 kills, Pubg. They are out for blood, and right now they're sitting in a great position to win a lot of money.
And that's what happens. That's what makes them such a fearsome team, is the fact that when they are strong and when they are together, they will pop off towards the end of the game. If they're not, they're still fearsome because they are able to clutch it for good positioning, and that gets them a lot of points. That's what I think, and I truly believe that WTSG have it in them to come back.
And bear in mind,
or come up.
Technically right now, not assigned team. So amazing to see them in that 2nd spot. And here we have a Vanguard currently sat in 3rd place. They got themselves a 3rd, a 6th, a 7th, and a 4th place in their games. That first one on Miramar, though, was a big mark. As They got so many kills on Miramar.
Even though we saw this circle shift east, 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 they were on the western side, by far the hardest side, but they swept their way in, they killed a lot, great position. Unfortunately, they did lose 2 players before the end game, so they had to lay down and trying to kind of camp it out, make sure they got to the top placement. But before that, they actually swept kind of OMG style in, but they just had so many more teams to fight, so they eventually lost 2 players to that.
And here we have Navi as well, another team that, to be fair to them, have done very well. 9th, 3rd, 6th, 5th yesterday. So their average placement is very high compared to the rest of the pack that we're seeing so far. And even in that last game, racking up 11 kills, so big points.
Yep, that's what happens indeed. Just like WTSG, a team that is brawler, a team that is sweeping around the late game circles, a team you don't want to meet towards the end of the game there. So yeah, Navi, I think they have a huge potential as well today. They've learned from their mistakes. From what I've been talking to them, they know exactly where to position themselves if the circles would go on the north or in the west side. But yeah, I think they're ready.
All right, well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Everybody here in the Mercedes-Benz Arena, this is the final day. Are you ready? That's right, let's go to the commentary team for game number 1 of the final day of PGI 2018.
Thank you, and indeed, the arena sounds ready to go, and we certainly are as well. We've had some incredible matches, but it all leads up to today.
That's pretty much it. There's no more looking back. Only 4 more games remain. If you want to jump to that top spot, you have to pull something out of the bag, because last night, OMG showed the world what they are made of. What a formidable performance.
Bar's been set. Everyone else needs to try and get even close to it. I don't think we've seen a team even able to challenge yet. But as said, gauntlet thrown down. All the teams now need to look at what was done yesterday, and they can do just the same thing in theory.
They can. There's a couple of really strong European teams. I think Europe and CIS are all top 6 now, just trailing slightly behind. But as it was mentioned on the desk, they are being overshadowed by OMG's performance.
Well, I think it's time to start this show up. For the final day, let's take a look towards the stage. never grow tired of seeing that, Richard. What a sight to see on the final day here.
Every single time we see it, it just sends shivers down your spine. What an absolutely unbelievable ceremony we have every single day to welcome these players to the stage. 20 individual teams. They've been sweating their hearts out for the last few months to make it to here, and every single one of them deserves it. There's a lot on the line. There's money, there's pride, and more importantly, there is a chance to say you are the world's greatest PUBG player.
So much hard work has led to this day for these teams. It all comes down to the next couple of rounds. The PUBG Global Invitational is about to know who's going into that final day with that hot hand, which team is ready for the challenge, who is up to the legend that OMG set just yesterday.
4 rounds down, 4 to go, and we're going back to the sunny sands of Miramar. It was an interesting one yesterday. We saw certainly some differences, a few individual teams and individual performances that we're not used to seeing, to be honest. But lo and behold, OMG, they claimed victory in 3 out of 4 of those games, and the only one that they lost, Lauren, was by 2nd place.
You can't take it away from them. Flawless game. I don't want to harp on about it, but even on Miramar, you look at the damage they received, and a couple of the interviews with their teams that they've played in their region say it's their late game, it's their second half game that we find so hard to handle. Now that could open up the opportunity of trying to take them out early game, but they know what their weaknesses are. But that late game, they barely take damage compared to anyone else. Miramar alone, they were 500 to 300 damage below everyone else on received. So essentially means that they weren't taking fights, they weren't taking risks, they took calculated options. We are ready for this one. It's Miramar, it's round 5, it's the first game of the final day. Everything comes down to this. Now this is the moment to step up. This is a Sunday. Any given time, it is going to be now.
Well, plane is in the air, and away we go. We're going to be skirting the southern end of Miramar, which unfortunately will kind of cut off all the northern regions. We did see this yesterday, a more southerly based swing. When you're looking further afield, you're looking up towards Terry Bronca, you've got Campo, you've got El Hazar, all the big places, El Pozo. San Martin can be extremely busy. You do have a couple of teams that will float around there, but generally speaking, Picado, Montenuvo, La Benedicta, going further afield than that can cause problems, especially if that circle does go down south.
Well, I'm glad you took on the names there.
I had a crack.
Look, I was going to go for my version of the names. I'll probably get in trouble for it. So, I mean, I'll see how we go. But the one thing with Miramar is the size of this map, the scalability. We'll be talking our way through it as we go. And, of course, these are the guys to be watching here. OMG. Beautiful work from them so far. But Savage living up to the name, going hunting with the shotgun straight into Leones, the busiest town available, the biggest town throughout this one. So they've spotted out, I think that was Mr. Yoppie. Yes, he's on the run now. He's going to get out of there. It's easy to kind of lose your way through this town and try and get away from all the vision. But the one thing about this map is, and that circle is rude. It's been real rude. Northeast, that northern side is completely absent of players, but vehicles are hard to find in this one sometimes. You could be in a fight with 3 other teams potentially on the same road within the same span. So there's going to be a lot of fights for that and a lot of teams considering where to go here.
So the biggest one I want to kind of pick up on here, Lauren, is the fact that Liquid, we know they're a bit of a Miramar team. We know they play through GLL.
Oh, this is nice! You can't be doing that. It's against certain things. Toxic. Thank the Lord he ran out of ammo.
Everyone's just trying to get a couple of early engagements, and why the hell not? If you're picking up both these players on your screen rocking the AKM with the 7.62, no one's wearing any body armor at this rate. You might as well go for it. But touching back on Liquid, they've not decided to go Picado. They're going to take a very westernly swing here. Maybe they're just going to play this the late game. You do have at the top La Cantada, and of course you have Coberera as well. So there is potential to do that. They're very, very spread out at the moment, more than likely looking for vehicles. We see them on Erengel. When they'll go, they'll drop Yasnaya, 2 will go there. The rest will go off and get the utility, bring it back home. But they're going to play a bit of a later game here. Let's, I think it would be only fair, because it is a rather large talking point at the moment. The boys on your screen right now, OMG. 4 games, 55 kills. That's absolutely ridiculous. And when we look at between them, Lion KK with 24, 3,260 damage. Zhao Hai, 17, 2560 damage. And then down at the bottom, you have someone with 10 kills in the form of Gaxi with 1,680. Like, What a massive drop-off, almost doubling third place.
Yeah, it's a big change here. So welcome South George. I think, again, it's very easy to overlook how great they have been when there's such a dominant team. But they've been playing very nicely for themselves. But it looks like First Blood has been officially drawn there. So again, this is a bit of an issue. This map, you don't want early engagements. Loot is a little bit sparser in comparison to the other maps. So again, you want to be able to ensure you get those 2-2s. You want to not get too much pressure early on. You want to be able to get range as well. That's a big thing on this map. You need range. You need your DMRs. This is why it bodes very well for teams like OMG, or teams who like to take ranged fights to a degree, or succeed in them, should I say, is the fact that you need it on this map. A lot of it's very terrain-based. It's not so up close and personal on occasion. Of course, once the circle moves in, it's all the same. But you are given plenty of opportunities to get those Kar 98s out, get those SKSs, the minis. The DMRs are really working in this. You're already seeing the Kar 98, the loops up on the back of it, all looking nice for Keen. So good to be seen there. And Vanguard had a wonderful game on Miramar as well. Can't overlook what they achieved.
Yeah, it's fun that I see the CIS boys stepping up to the plate and stepping up to, more importantly, what we know they can do and what they can achieve. They're a fantastic set of individuals. They're a fantastic two teams. I mean, they kind of run the CIS region at the moment. You looked at, again, the qualifiers. They were head and shoulders above anybody else. Don't get me wrong. The CIS is definitely, it's a budding area. There are a lot of good teams that are on the come up now, a lot of certain individuals that are going to be your stars of the future. But right now, they are the bosses. They're the ones running it, and they're kind of just trying to catch up to one another. If one takes the lead, it's the other one that has to follow.
I think a lot of people coming into this event were also putting them as a dark horse, the CIS region. Most people are looking at Europe to be quite dominant, at least in first person. That was wrong for now. Overall, they've done fine. Just, you know, just being a meme. But the point is, just banter. But the point is that the CIS region was always going to be that kind of like dark horse pick because we know how well they can play. Na'Vi have had a couple of roster issues. Obviously, that's played them slightly or slowed their roll down. But beyond that, Vanguard are phenomenal. So, again, we were kind of looking at them to be the team to surprise us, or the region, should I say, to surprise us. But that was not the case.
What happened so far? Let's look at the circle and see where the rotations are going to be coming through. Durad onto Mike's. He does go down. That's a knock for now. We'll see if they advance on this one to try and claim these initial 15 points. Obviously, earlier on, we saw Savage poking away with the 686. They did disengage from that fight, and so be it. Because honestly, on a map like this, you can just turn into any kind of compound or building, and the amount of guns that can be in there. I've seen Andy Pyro in one certain event where he just found a Saiga. It's like, okay, boys, let's have it. Let's rock and roll. It's job done.
Now, I'm looking at positioning early from a couple of teams. We do have this little bit of a battle going on, because that should be a confirmed kill if the nade does go far enough. Not quite landing there just yet, but bleeding out quite heavily here. Damage is being done. He's dropping the loot on the way. So it's just like, if I can't have it, no one can. Sod ya. But we are seeing a couple of teams on the way out, on the road, and a lot of this will be happening. A lot will be able to spot each other on the way on these rotations. But I want to talk about the teams who went to the north early on. We knew the flight path coming through was relatively towards the south, making the teams who took the longer road towards the north once that circle hit have a huge benefit. So Honey Badger Nation, for example, will have a lovely looting phase. They do need to not get too comfortable. It's very easy to get, rest on your laurels a little too much and not be aware that teams will be working in towards you. So that's something to keep your mind on. Now Savage on the go. Ragnar leading the squad out, but 4 AM, tag or two coming through there. You don't want to get those vehicles too damaged up. You've got a long old road ahead of you.
The fact that you can, I mean, it's been in for a while now, but the fact that you can take out the tires it's something to play for. If you just go for the spray, if you can't at least kill them, do as much damage, but go for the wheels on a map like this. All right, there's a lot of terrain that you can play off of. I think that's the biggest difference between this and Erangel. If you're running through an open field on Erangel, it's literally an open field. You've got to fight for survival. You're just going to get mowed down. With this, there is objects. There is a lot of, there's a lot of cabins, there's a lot of rocks.
The topography of the map.
That's the word I was looking for. There is
oh, here we go.
Org.
Not bad.
Not bad. Good gun.
It's just you're a very green bushwookie in a very arid map.
Be one with the bush. You have to find them, spot them out, just get stuck in, hide away. Especially with the Org as well, up close and personal. Regardless of how much of a hit it took during patch 12, that thing is accurate, and
now,
the kick on it is nigh on nothing.
I really want to keep tabs on how OMG play rotations here, because those guys early game really didn't take too many risky fights. They were never really caught here, and you can see they were looting down in Chumacera, so now they're heading all the way north, taking a very long road, kind of playing the timing on the blue. Not in a mad hurry, collecting vehicles on the way, but other teams are already in the circle now start tussling for that good real estate, but there's plenty of terrain you can play off, plenty of areas you can sit in that are just as viable as sitting towards compounds. So in case you get worried, like, oh, my favorite team doesn't have that building, or, you know, I haven't got a good spot, they'll be just fine. Now, Welcome South Georgia are heading all the way up north as well, but right now we are seeing Chiefs trying to just show off, you know, puff out their chests and say, don't you dare come towards our compound.
Actually could have a bit of an engagement with OMG. You see TG right next to them.
The pan hits.
Yeah, now he's all kinds of panic, unless that's the vehicle that we hear in the background. Actually, I think it is.
It's got to be.
I think that's potentially going to be Gold looking at the map, because they're the ones being shot at the moment, as Gold are on a rotation down. They're stuck between two teams. Ghost in front, AHQ in the back. TG have split off from Black. Also, OMG are there. There's potentially 4 teams that might inject themselves in this circle at the potential same place. Savage still, no rest for the wicked. This is the second team now on their
Nicely looted,
backs.
though. Very nice loot on him. He had decent setup there.
I mean,
can't be sad at that. As long as you get your DMR, I feel always that there's an option for you in this game.
100%, and especially with the damage multiplier on the head, if you can at least get one tick off of it, a quick think, and away you go.
Yeah, you're feeling good.
It's, you know, you don't even have to pressure kills on this map. You can just tech one. It's like, okay, I've done enough damage now. I can run away and get a better position.
Oh. They have a lot of vehicles. Don't worry too much. They've been collecting en route, so they can pick up their buddy, and you can see them taking their time on this little dip.
Just ram it, flip it.
You could do. If they want to try and keep this, maybe to be able to create options down the line. Could be a nade if needed.
Do it. I believe.
But it just flings into the teammate. Very flat car. Going to be quite tricky. Maybe they'll just take it with them. It can be just like a mobile shelter.
Just try and bless him.
They're giving it a good go. And they're not in the safety yet. And this will slow them down slightly, so that could give an opportunity for the other teams to get into better positions earlier towards the north.
I won't lie, that actually might have done them a favour, because they've just avoided, on the main road above them, TG and Liquid on rotation. Black's always there as well. So there's 3 teams that they actually, by slowing them down in this vehicle side, might have done them favours. In fact, Black have found them.
Now, this could be an issue. I don't think OMG were ready for this either. Now, if you are on the other side of things, you might want to keep moving. You don't want to be taking fights when you're outside the blue on this map. It's just a waste of kind of your utility and everything you have, and you don't get, well, you gain points, don't you? But you don't know who you're taking out. You don't know that it's going to be OMG that you're going to be fighting. So again, we're seeing that bit of a crunch towards the northern side, but beyond that, everyone going in, oh, like this, playing opposite to playing paths is always a nice way to do it. It's a very easy mentality to keep in mind. But you don't want too many fights here. This is not when you want to be fighting. You don't want your vest to get damaged. You don't want to get your helmet dinked off. You don't want to be going through your meds or burning those out too early. You want to take your time on it. Find a bit of safety here. And Liquid, we're not surprised at this. We are seeing TG doing something similar, hitting around on that blue, hooking in, as they like to say on the desk, and they're willing to do it. This map is treacherous to drive on the actual, open terrain. Sticking on the road, just not a bad idea, and that car can gun it. That's all good.
Really intrigued to see where this next circle goes. I can't kind of think what's going to be a stronger position necessarily, and everyone obviously around the middle of the map towards the coastline, they'll all be grouped up. If it goes that way, you wouldn't see too much action. You would see rotational test, and it does. It goes almost center, so we've got about 20% water there. How do you get into this one now? Banger.
Oh god, we watched it as well. Gates, my guys. It's not how it's meant to be. Is there fire on them now? Oh, there is. It's gone from bad to worse. What a disaster it's been for Team Gates to start with. Now that's 2 knocked. 1 got done over by the vehicle. And in the background, Genji Black are just making it hurt. This is tough.
NA driving. Oh, well. Some free loot there for you boys. Crack on.
Free cars, free loot.
Enjoy. If you lost one before, you can pick it back up. Na'Vi, they were playing the late game earlier on. 4AM have decided to dip down low, all the way down south, or swing this around. They'll actually be behind Na'Vi. Na'Vi are going to have a bit of a field there, because there are several teams directly in front of them. Liquid, TG, we got Honey Badger Nation, and the remnants of Black and OMG. This northern edge of the circle could be a problem.
But I think we're seeing the 2 very different stylistic approaches to this game, of the early centralization, getting towards the water because you know how the circles work, or you're going to play it late. You're going to play for the late game and allow others to burn through their utility and everything else. Now, Refund, Funky M's going to get more than a glimpse there. A couple of shots coming through. You can see all these rotation routes being very similar. CGX, though, up for a fight. Happy to take a bit of a challenge there. No. Oh, DJ Chip. Oh, no. Oh, the car. It's okay. It's still well above half HP. Spins it over. We're back underway. Pino's got it under wraps. He's all good. He's ready to go. Mumino is someone who's also ready to go. Spotting out Gaxi there, making a bit of a dash for it. You can see the Serpentine from Gaxi trying to offset the pacing on as he gets up the hill, trying to allow for no shots to be easily hit.
This is kind of the difference what I was trying to get at earlier on with Erangel. Like, generally speaking, all right, you have some hills that you can play off of, but there's not a lot. If you're in the open on Erangels, time and time again, you'll find yourself just completely mowed down. WTSG, they do have all these rocks. They do have the little cabin, they do have the deflets that they can play off the back of, so they can stay alive. Gaxi obviously opts into the UMP up close and personal if CW want to push him. Navi, they found themselves a compound. They're happy for now. They're just on the outskirts of Impala, just to the north of it, so happy days for them. OMG.
Not in a hurry.
No, they're not, which, to be fair, they never... It kind of felt yesterday when we were watching them, they were never in a hurry. They were playing the edge, but they were playing it aggressive. Like, the times that we see teams playing edge, they play slow, but if they saw a team, they wanted kills. They were hungry.
Now, the one thing I do want to say about OMG is the way that they approach the game when it comes to the timing on the blue. I really like how they do it. They're not in a hurry. There's no point getting into the circle right now and pretending that that white line is anything other than a marker coming in about 30, 40 seconds. Yes, it can help you getting in there early, as in the fact you'll be the first to put your foot to it, but if you're OMG and you know you can take a fight, you don't need to hurry it. You're in a good spot. You can buy time, allow others to test the water. We've seen other teams struggle by trying to find that placing, but beyond that, they'll be fine. And actually, someone who's not fine is WTSG. Gaxi going down is devastating. They just needed to do a good game, have a decent game, and they'd have been fine, but that's a big loss for them. They were sat in second place.
Especially when he's the top fragger.
Timid! Oh, no! Oh, this could be all over. There's shots coming in as well. He's been exploded. Down he goes. It's Jeems.
I mean, you roll in front of a Team Liquid player. What do you expect? It's an easy kill for them. The suspension on that car, it's a little bit wild. You've got to go careful. Ibby has been knocked, though. In answer back to this one, Jeems, the car 98, looking to try and find this target. It's Wick. John Wick himself, SLR in hand, but he's going to get smashed from the back. Jeems does see him. Big question is, can they get to Ibby? Do they have the smoke? Do they have the time? I think he's got to play it with him in the form of Samty. Fast Rail's going to evacuate from this one. Get the hell out of Dodge. Why not? I like it how Scoom just keeping the pressure alive on him.
No scope on that either. So now the next circle comes in, slightly southern, push down, still quite central to this, but it does shift a little harder towards the south. Now, Liquid's loot is not ideal. We're seeing them lacking in some areas. You've got limited meds, but it's okay on Jeems. He's fine. He's still well geared. But you saw that Scoom didn't have a single scope. He didn't even have a red dot or anything on that 416. Now, Jeems has to be careful. He can get peeked out this window if he's being a little bit hap-handed. And Scoom, again, I think he's trying to just juggle what he's got here. But the other teams now up towards the north are going to have to run a bit of a tricky road. That eastern side, it's okay. It's nice to play on the coast, but it's very open. It's very sparse of cover, even with the terrain.
I mean, to kind of extend on that one a bit, Lauren, it kind of goes hand in hand what we said at the start. They were pushed out of their home territory. They like to go Picardo. They drop there. They have their loot routes. Hey, oh, got a bit of a fight on top of the hill. AHQ onto WTSG. Larson answers back. Can he find a second? No, he cannot. He's knocked down now. They've already locked Gaxi. Larson, IGL, he's dead. Winner might be able to get Weissen up, but he is getting tagged up from the side. Vard's there as well. SKS in hand. Will opt to go for the AR. Grenades are going to come out, and the rest of AHQ, Lauren, they want to get involved in this party.
Yeah, and they're doing it well. You can see Vard's nade is doing it perfectly. That will alleviate the pressure. Now he needs to work out where the other two players on this pressure point are coming from. And that's what Miraku's doing. He's holding the back lines, the area where the flank is most likely to come from. And he'll succeed in that for now. He does find one, but the trade comes back in. Miraku goes down. And this is an issue for Welcome South Georgia. Down to one man standing. It is Vard, though. The guy is good, and he's showing us to why. Takes out M4. The revive should be coming through now. He knows that was a squad wipe, but was anyone else listening? Is anyone else close by? He's going to have to put down a smoke, use some of that utility, and stay alive.
Things not looking good so far, but what a clutch time to win the 1v1 battle. Otherwise, that would have been your second place team going out in 20th place. Down to 2 players. Both of them have been tanked up. They'll be lacking utility, gear, meds, everything else that goes with it. Saying that, there is 6 players dead up there at least, so that's a very...
Where did that come from?
That's a great...
How strong's your arm?
That's a belting attempt, to be fair. But, you know, touching further on Vard and the remaining player of the WTSG, they do have all those loot boxes that they can go through now, all the dead bodies. OMG, they're arriving to the party, but yeah, they're actually being gatekeeped out, funnily enough.
And now OMG have barely been inside the new circles at any given point. And I mean barely. They'll often sit very much on the cusp of it. Now Team Gates could pose a real problem here, and they've had another team hot on their heels the entire way. So OMG aren't going to have the complete freedom throughout this. And I
team,
actually think Refund might get all the attention here. Mortify might be too busy trying to help out his teammate because Funky M's on the way past, so is Pino. Silo is going to be in trouble here. UMP switched up, maybe hearing those cars pull up. He holds his breath, trying to hear any steps that go past, and Mortify's doing the same thing. This could be big. They have no idea who's around here. Team Gates are playing very cautious and careful because they're down to 2. They don't have all the players in the world to be able to go for these crazy hits, but OMG are looking like they're on foot here, kind of leaving the vehicles behind and starting to go for a run. So this is going to be a big fight. They'll be fighting uphill as well, which can be quite tough, especially against Refund, who've shown that they have power.
I think OMG don't realize what's going on, so they'll
Did Chip just see them?
I think they're just skirting this. I don't think they have the information because they're still looking back at themselves. Oh, one of them does
Now
jump
they
up.
know where CeeLo is.
Yeah, he's got the answer. UMP in hand, goes for the pre-fire, doesn't quite see him.
He's got to go fast. He's got to know there's other teammates close enough by. He's got, oh, the timing, here's the tick on the nade. Smart play from him, but now he sees 2. He needs support, he needs help, but he's got an angle to play on, and that's enough, apparently. Reload comes in, Prone gets hit. He can't withstand another. Funky M to the rescue, but look who's heard it. It's the Death Squad, OMG. They smell blood in the water, but Mortify. Could he be the man to unravel? Silent, Silent, Silent! He's walked over him! He's picked around, he's baffled, but he gets the kill! Now OMG are not gonna stop there. They know that it's Refund here. The nades get put up. OMG, they have their guns, they got the SKSs, they've got the nades, and they've got the ferocious attitude we know them for.
This is insane. They're swinging it round. One's on the backside. The nades are there. All the smokes are down. 3 players are up. Make that down to 1. The grenades are good. They're fantastic. You call them a death squad, and it's going their way precisely, shooting through the smokes and just hoping to see some sign of life.
Funky M saved them before, but it's too little too late. Surely this time it went too far. OMG again kick things off, looking deadly.
Oh, fair enough, it was only 1 player, but 2 teams back-to-back. 5 kills in the bag, GG so far. OMG continue to strike fear into the hearts of players on Miramar. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. The circle's kind of gone their way. It's in the northern area, so they don't have too far to get there. They do have Liquid just ahead of them on the very tip, though, so they need to be very, very careful. 17 teams, 57 individual players alive. We're only 20 minutes in, and we've lost 3 teams already.
We've had a good couple of early fights coming out, essentially, is what's happened here. Ones that are non-avoidable. You're already out of your cards. You're already in a different spot. You have to take it or you die. Now, we'll be seeing the rest of the teams in the south beginning their maneuvers up towards the northern side. This is a bit of a back-and-forth battle. One of those where no one really wants to commit to this, because Chiefs are already feeling a bit of the pressure here. They've had some early fights. It's maybe feeling a little bit, you know, wounded, but the nade's coming out, and actually, that's a big couple of kills coming in.
Yeah, that's 2 players from Black down. Dramatic will be able to get Sexy Pig up, which, to be honest with you, is going to be imperative going forward. Taking so much damage earlier on, it's going to cost them time. They are inside the circle. No one's really going to give them any pressure because there is nobody behind them. OMG still lurking. The distance.
Nice tag. That was 2 tags there.
It just, how quickly they can snap to individual targets. Ridiculous. We do the same again. Here's the bullets coming
Oh, that
through.
could be a steal.
He's going to go down in the edge. That should be 1. Looking for another, and there it is. 15 points goes his way. Boy still taking fire from the distance. The Aussies want to get involved as well. Chief just looking in the distance across there.
Look at OMG and Liquid towards the top. That could be a potential fight down the line unless they just swing where they are. There's no need for them to get involved too early on. Again, we know that OMG will take a fight if it's in front of them, but overextending for fights doesn't seem to be the name of their game. They'll play the balance perfectly. The nade is good, though. It's very good. And it's going to be Texas there. Knights, a team that we want to see more from. They've shown that they have the potential. Now we need to be delivered on the biggest of stages.
More importantly, they're taking out a guy who has picked up a crate. You saw the MK14 in his back pocket, so he's going to be freed up. Take the helmet off him, take the chest, take the body, take the points. 16 teams, easy peasy. The thing that you have to remember about OMG as well is that we're taking out, there was initial fight going on there when they did rock up to it. So there was 2 sets of body boxes on the floor. Those guys are going to be absolutely geared out of their mind. Scopes, add-ons, gun attachments. And more importantly,
Look at this position.
all the bullets in the world.
Yeah, they were actually lacking that. I saw a couple of the AKs that they're holding onto were down to maybe 2 clips worth of ammo, so they actually could have done with that. That's good for them to be able to pick it up and supplement what they earlier had. For now, though, Knight's going to try and find their position. This next circle will force a couple of people into uncomfortable spots because vehicles have been dropped by this point for the vast majority. Very central. So everyone's just going to kind of condense their way forward. It's not going to be too many hard shifts or big swings, but Critical there does find one of the Made in Thailand players, catching them out maybe.
I think as though that's going to put CGX on alert. Ring the dinner bell. They'll push up slightly.
Oh, look at this angle.
He knows what's going on. Jeems in the kill feed. Meanwhile, finds Sexy Pig. IGL. Genji Black, he's down. Vard onto D's. 15 points to WTSG. That's a big kill for them. Keeps them going through the competition. Sampty, he's got a hillside to play with, a little bit of elevated line of sight. You can see in the distance, though, we've seen a few M24s lurking around, so he needs to be very careful. That could be a very good grenade.
We've got some long-range fights between Gold and OMG working their way in, but a Vanguard in the middle, and we're going to be seeing Gold and D taking a lot of room here. We were discussing when Genji Gold were going to get involved into this because Genji Black are under pressure. The Molotovs are burning. The nades are coming through. Grammatic's still alive here. Liquid need to get past him. Ibby's got one in hand, as does Skoom. Nade should be going over here, hopefully to for a connection. No, they're just not landing it. Grammatic's got a chance in this. The bounce! Oh, it's Shroud all over. Uh-oh, that one's good. Ibby shows us how it's done.
Back pop, pocket, GG. Genji Black goes down in 16th place.
And both of these teams in the situation we're looking at right here
Navi's
do
out.
need to move forward as well. I think Na'Vi did just get found as well. So this is big. A Vanguard and OMG are in a bit of a battle as well. You're seeing that unfold. It's just Mumino standing. Keen's already been taken down. And these guys, they just don't stop. They finally lose out on a player, though. Actually, there's a bit of a fight back here. It's Genji Gold. They've been spotting these guys the entire way, and they got a confirmed kill. Finally seeing OMG maybe not looking flawless here.
Made in Thailand's gone. Ghost are doing all kinds of damage. Down in the kill feed there to Ghost. Ghost are answering back at least. Keep an eye to see when one of those two teams goes down.
That Ghost Knights fight is big, Rich.
They pushed them back. I mean, at the moment, we can see it. Ghost are just pinning back Knights into the blue right now. There's players down on either side, but it looks like it's Profi with a God nade. Absolutely battered, all 3 for 1. And the Knights are gone from this competition.
They certainly are. Now, if you look at the positioning coming from Genji Gold, again, these guys weren't having the biggest of performances, but we were so impressed with them in that third-person perspective, you can't write them out. They were such a dominant team. They won just about everything, and their positioning is good here. They've gone for the greedy play. 2 in a nice compound. You've got 2 split out onto the terrain beside it, so they hold a lot of the map currently. The north side is currently Liquid. OMG still have players alive towards the northeast. The south is the NA side, Honey Badger Nation and Ghost, and then towards the west of things, you've still got Chiefs out there. You've got CGW out there. You've got a lot of teams still kind of scrapping around this area.
OMG down to 2 players. That's good for teams looking forward. Liquid still got 4 up in the north chilling. As you can see from the POV, Ibby with an SLR kicking around.
Eastern Circle, OMG have it. Gold have it. Honey Badger Nation, Savage, and welcome South George.
They're actually pushing in.
Oh no, this is... I don't think they expect it. Do they know? Will they know? Lion KK, the man is a monster, and I would not be wanting to be in Liquid's shoes here. You've got to know that they were around this position. Both teams are aware, but by how much Lion KK? He was considering a nade here. He spots out one. Oh, he gets spotted back, though. Put to position. He quickly gets out a nade. Jeems needs to land these shots and land them fast. The M16's in hand, the nade comes out, the tag comes in, Jeems is under pressure, Ibby's got 1 ticked, and as does Skoom. It's Lion KK, he's in trouble, the nades aren't bad, but they're not good enough. They still stand, OMG hold the line. Samty's on the flank though, Rich.
Not getting too aggressive just yet, they're going to send Samty to the right-hand side. Skoom's on the top as well, so they might be able to just pincer them here. Here comes the crush, they look down the barrel, Samty's there, the knock is good. Where's the last one? 1 player remains, and he's gone, I believe. No, he's not. He's just hiding and praying they don't see him. But honestly, with the buffer of how many points they've got throughout this competition so far, Lauren, getting top 10 is fantastic for them.
That's it. What is a god to an unbeliever? Liquid come out today and show us a little more of what we wanted to see from them. They were sat around that top 5, top 6, not the performance you expect from Liquid, but today is a different day. Now, actually, Genji Gold's starting to get a bit of pressure, maybe from range. No one was that close to Loki, so I feel like he's been maybe picked off with those cars, SKS's minis. And now every other team in that western side is going to be the next big point. You've got a lot of teams working their way forward.
Badge just throwing out the warning nades here. He is inside the circle, so at least as a one-man band, just wants to try and keep people away from him and keep his position as clear and clean as possible. Try and climb up that leaderboard. P for Potato takes down Mr. Yoppie. Mr. Yoppie right at the start, going head-to-head with that 686. Let's look a little bit further afield. Genji Gold still have all 4 up, and obviously you got one of those players lurking with the AUG as well. Helmet and vest, 3-3-3, all laughing away. Loki's POV now. I think CWG blue right in front of us. Yep, Laveri's gone down as well. He's dead. They're in a bit of a pickle right now. Savage, Ragnar. I don't think any of his teammates are in a position to try and pick him up. Loki's on the back foot as well. You heard it on the desk. The DMRs in this entire meta are just... they're so... strong and so valuable because you can easily find them. You can pick 7.62 ammo, you can pick 5.56, you can whack any kind of
His
scopes
goal
off them.
being pressured though. Rich will come back to that because this is big. These were the players who are split slightly further out from the rest. They may not have instant support. Loki needs to get there and save the day, but it looks like there's pressure elsewhere. Liquid won a bit of the battle as well. This is going to be pressure on both fronts. Loki did come in, did find Turtle. He finds McCoy! Loki's up to no good, and Turtle does get confirmed dead as well. This is very nice play, good control on the Scar. Breaks watching with lust in his eyes as we see another master of spray coming out.
Balok peeks around the corner and soon dips back as the fire does come his way.
Don't want that.
Nope, Loki's done his job. He's eliminated enough. Esker though, kill feed, that's it, be knocked. AUG finally rears its head. ACOG on top. It's a nasty weapon, 5.56, and again, you can just spray this at range because of the kickback on it. It's a fantastic long-range weapon as it is close.
But the angle is excellent from him. You need a Kar 98 to be able to dig you out of that. Balak does go down in the end. That was the fight we were watching earlier with Loki. They're holding on very well here. Vard is your last man for Welcome to South George. He's desperately trying to be able to stay alive, but he's in between so much madness here. But his nade's good. That's found Ibby. This throws a spanner into the works. James is trying to creep his way forward on it. Scoon. Oh, Vard! On his own, a feral man in the wild here. Jim's trying to make up for it, but Vard now deals with that. No, the trade was almost there, but Liquid had the numbers. Samty was still alive, so revives are possible. Honey Badger Nation, though, working their way in towards gold here. That's 3 men on the move. That could be the next big fight.
They've not actually, this is their first knock, so they'll bleed slow here. It all comes down to how low Q plays this one. Samty might be able to get both of them up here. This would be massive if they could. The damage has been done. The armors are going to be dinked. Fast rail around the corner. Esker,
do they know?
He's the one with the ghillie, so he's hiding in the bush.
God. Esker on the prowl. He pounces on fast rail. Where's the support? His teammates, they're being called in now. They know there's more here. Esker leans the angle, spots out Wick, but look who's in the back lines. Gold have more players now close by. A nade could be big. Esker does go down, but will he be confirmed? No, he's got cover for now. Chelator needs to get there, needs to find a spot, needs to play this out perfectly. He's looking for him, but is it going to be enough? Is he good enough to take on a whole squad here?
He has to back up, 50% HP still. Peeking the corner, we'll get to the vehicle, probably able to get the res here. If Honey Badger Nation want to be smart, they should push this, they should knock them out. He's all dinked up, he's all kind of damaged, at 2 for 2 now.
Loki was so far away, he's going to try and get in there now. The prone, the timing, he's got to get back up, he's going to try and save his team, but it's too little, too late potentially now. He does find one, he confirms the kill, avenging his fallen teammates. But now, this is where the nerves kick in. This is fast rail now picked up, Grizzly's there. And Loki hits the deck. Esker will bleed out. Surely nothing he can do. He's trying to find information for his team, but still standing strong as Liquid. You have a Chiefs man working his way on the edge there. He's playing the Bush Wookiee as such. He's going to be trying to work his way forward. Edge peeks up. He's a strong one as well. He's got level 3 helmet on that. I would not be peeking that willy-nilly.
55% damage reduction, but it does rip off 50% of his HP. They have information where they are. Look at that circle swing. It goes towards Honey Badger Nation. Edge, last man standing for his team.
But look at the gun he's got.
Up close and personal with that extended mag, the Vector's going to do damage.
And he's got a big boy gun on the back, so let's not write Edge out just yet. Just leave him alone. He's like, you know, a Hornet's nest. Just don't go near it. Don't poke it. Leave it be. Now, this is the big story here. Loki can be the annoying gatekeeper. As soon as these buildings get a little bit of pressure, he could catch them on the way out if they try and push for real estate. Liquid need to move towards this, though. They've heard the fights in the background. They'd have heard what was happening with Gold and Honey Badger Nation. They don't know how that went down, but they know there's 4 teams alive.
What's so impressive here is that I'm still seeing level 2s on Team Liquid. So either they've been and looted dead bodies and got themselves back up to a full kit, or previously it were just the nades that knocked them down. He's fancying a vehicle. I mean, I don't blame him, to be honest. So you bring it in and give him some kind of a wall.
Does he get him up on the roof as well, maybe? Yeah. It might. Gives him a nice bit of extra cover to play around. But that's an easy shot for Edge, and they don't expect him there either. Liquid have a little bit of an angle left open here.
Edge doing what his name suggests and playing it. Fast Rail holding the angle, the tiniest crack seen through. Grizzly holds the door as well. Loki still clinging on. Because remember, Honey Badger Nation, they've been knocked, they've been damaged. You'd expect their durability on the items to be slightly.
He's been spotted.
Does he have meds? Because he's still 50% HP. I didn't know if he had meds or not. He must have a stim on, surely.
Maybe. Edge has made his way, and he's going to just hit the deck, I can imagine. Prone in any cover he has. It's the next circle. Again, this is going to be very tense. No team has to make moves here in theory.
I didn't see the arm. I heard you say Big Boy gun, but I didn't know it was literally that big. So it could be a problem for several teams. But again, at this, I mean, don't get me wrong, he can get some kind of an angle now. He caused problems for Team Liquid if he caught someone's face.
Because if you look at Liquid's positioning, they don't actually have the perfect position in this circle. They're not particularly safe. They have this building, and that's it, and it's very open to Edge. If he gets the Orm out, and he starts picking at them, this could be a really easy way for them to start getting pressured. So let's see if Edge is feeling up to the task. You might not want to give away so much of your position in the fact that when the next circle hits, you're going to be running in, all eyes on you. But he can hold the cross in theory. The terrain here actually plays not too badly for Edge. He could maybe get the tree early, but again, you'll be pincered. Scoom going to be working his way forward. Hits the deck, goes for the pro. Now, Honey Badger Nation are going to be locked in by Loki, 100%. 100%. He will wait as late as he can.
Fast Rail's got to get a nice pick here. He's got an M24 inside that building. If he can find one of Liquid's faces, then that gives them a doorway, gives them an opening. But like you say, this is a lovely place from Scoom. Extend a little bit further. The annoyances of smoke will go down. They'll try and build some sort of a wall, and it looks like Liquid are going to do the same as well. You can see Scoom already with a smoke nade in hand.
10 seconds. They need to start stimming up, getting ready. I'm seeing flashes coming out for Honey Badger Nation. Anything they have is going to be put into play. Jeems, a little bit of pressure. A couple of shots come out, but I think that's Loki potentially. I'm not sure. Edge going to have to start working his way in as well. Jeems is keeping eyes on those buildings. The 16's not perfect, but we're going to watch what he can do with this Grizzly. Going to be... Oh, he's hit the prone. That's a smart way forward. Liquid hold the circle for now. It looks like it's all eyes towards Honey Badger Nation and Loki. Edge creeping forward, dipping into the blue, back and forth. Who sees who first? It's a terrifying game of hide and seek for now. Smoke goes in for Loki. Edge, move forward. He's in a bad spot now. He gets found by Fast Rail. That does mean we're down to 3 here. Loki's still alive. Trying to use the smoke. Hits the deck. It's Jeems towards Fast Rail. It's actually Honey Badger Nation doing very nicely here. Grizzly doing well, but not well enough. It's 2 teams. And oh my... Wait, did they die to the blue?
I think he died to the blue.
He died to the blue.
He did. He died to the blue, and Genji Gold are actually gifted a win.
What a fumble from Liquid at the end. They thought maybe that was it. Huge errors being made from Liquid at the end. I don't think they knew that Loki was even alive, and he waited so long. He was the last man to turn up and try and support Eska, who went down, and Shelter, who went down, and he was the one locking in Honey Badger Nation. But then Liquid took a lot of damage in that fight, and maybe just didn't move up quick enough in that blue.
I think he's as stunned as what we are. I was looking at, I thought, are they going to push on this one? Are they going to move in? I mean, I don't know what happened there, but that's a... When you're chasing OMG and they've gone down in 10, every single point counts. That should have been a Liquid win in my eyes. I mean, don't get me wrong, we can't count out Loki. He's a goddamn amazing player.
What happened? I think that's being discussed with them right now. That is not a happy team. You finish second, you're normally okay with that. That is not a happy team. Bear in mind what happened with the car to them yesterday. What's happened now with the blue? They're making small errors. And yeah, not a happy team on Liquid, and I don't blame them. Something went wrong there. Because I don't think Loki even shot.
They had 2 alive, right? They lost Jeems because of the guy sat on the floor. Fair play, but surely they had 2. That they could have took the 2 versus 1 here.
I don't know. I wish I could get a replay on that one. That is a map, just a view that I wish I could see, because I cannot theorize any situation other than a mistake they made where they died there.
It happened so fast, but then again, you do have to remember that blue, at that stage of the game, it absolutely wrecks house. That's enough from us. We're going to take a very, very short break. I'm sure the desk will be able to talk about it a little bit more when we return. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a minute.
Oh, this could be all over. The shot's coming in as well. He's been exploded. Down he goes as Jeems. The ferocious attitude we know them for.
This is insane. They're swinging it round. One's on the backside. The nades are there. All the smokes are down. 3 players are up. Make that down to 1. Able to just pincer them here. Here comes the crush. They look down the barrel. Samteef's there.
There's a spanner into the works. Jeems is trying to creep his way forward on it. Scoom. Beyond! Fast fast rail. That does mean we're down to 3 here. Loki's still alive, trying to use the smoke. Hits the deck, hits Jeans towards fast rail. It's actually Honey Badger Nation doing very nicely here. Grizzly doing well, but not well enough. It's 2 teams, and oh my, wait, did that go to
That's all for Drain's interview. Thanks for watching, and also thanks, Drain. Okay, hope you have a good trip and good match tournament in this PGI. Okay, thank you.
They're at the top of their game. 7 kills here. Great compound of the circle, but not the next.
Critical as well. He's confirming the kills. And
Spotted music off in the background. Ronan's going to push up though. He finds Testy. Another knockdown coming from Bandit Esports here. Edge has spotted them though. Missed shot from Waikiki Mukau. Kazarus is dead as Peeper Potato. His butt is sticking out from the tree. Mukau's looking for the revive. Never mind. He's going to get sprayed down. Edge comes up clutch for the Chiefs. Yeah, the Chiefs indeed, Bandy.
Zesco's done a really, really good job of rank taking it. Somehow, Ian, Peeper Potato is still alive for the Chiefs Gaming, and Kingdom Gaming have got all the cards in their back pocket. They have the high
V1. It's been a great performance for Greyhound.
Talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
And that's what got... Not sure about this one. And oh, there goes 2 of the SYF members just again quickly into the circle. The Chiefs, they can choose when to take these fights, coming in from that high ground. Exactly what I spoke about. Cozy here, but can't have that high ground advantage. And Kingdom Gaming is actually still alive.
Yep.
They're going to ruin Advanced hopes. It's 1 versus 1. Cozy's been spotted. The spray there from as they close out the final game here.
They did it in TPP. Can they continue things in FPP? Gen G Gold able to take #1 spot there in our last round and finds themselves a lot of points to boot. Here is the overall ranking as it stands here, and you can see one of the big factors was OMG going out in 10th place. That gap is slowly getting smaller here at the start of day #2. A big shift potentially here for Miramar.
It looks like it indeed, and so far what we've seen is nothing short of legendary. It looks like patience pays off. It pays off to be a bit more quiet, of course. Gen G losing a lot of members in that 5 versus HPM, but then they started snaking around, and there you go. Snake wins the game. An incredible effort by them, of course, and unexpected. We thought it was going to be Liquid for sure, but when we saw the standing at the end, they're Gold winning this. What a surprise.
Super surprising, but also they doubled their points here, so they're actually sitting up there in the top 8 right now. Super nice for them. But to just really quickly break down the end game there, Jeems, he did push on Honey Badger Nation. Loki did play completely right, smoked himself, tried to make sure that there were as few amount of people alive. Edge died to Honey Badger Nation, but Honey Badger Nation actually put a lot of pressure on Liquid. So they got so low that they died to the zone. So they sprayed them down. Jeems, he got 1 knock, and then he got knocked himself, and then Fastrail actually got a lot damage onto the 2 other remaining members, Samty and Skoom. So they died to the zone, but it was because of the damage made from Honey Badger Nation.
Overall, it's going to take a lot to try and catch up with Lion KK in terms of those kills overall in the tournament, because as much as they got 10th place, Lion KK still got himself 5 kills throughout that game. So extra numbers only adding to that potential MVP down the line. I want to ask you, Avenger, because we saw a lot of smokes towards that last circle, and obviously you were kind of looking very astutely at how everything was moving around in that last circle. What do you make of the smoke timings? Because Loki's came out a little bit later compared to everybody else's, and it seemed to work out for him.
Honestly, I like to see this kind of smoke, how they did it. Usually what you see is they smoke themselves just in front. What I would like to see from this ending, where we have, before it closes completely in the middle, it's 67 meters wide in a diameter. What I'd like to see here, I'd like to see, instead of Liquid smoking themselves, I'd like to make them smoke in front of their enemies. So they have to push inside the zone, so they have to come outside the smoke. So make their visibility towards Liquid completely, they have to come outside the smoke. So they can't see anything. I'd like to see that instead, because they knew there were players in there. They knew there were 2, maybe 3. They saw Edge over there from Chiefs, so they knew he was going to come around. He couldn't get into the zone. And then they count. So they knew there were 2 or 3 members from different teams in there. So instead of making a smoke wall for themselves, they can push into slowly. I'd like to see a smoke wall in front, like completely covering them, the visibility and the line of sight.
An aggressive smoke, I like that.
Let's talk about what we saw at the very beginning of that game. Let's start way. It was a while ago now, about 30 minutes or so, but we saw Liquid not going to Picado. They went much further elsewhere, and it did work out for them, eventually 2nd place.
It's a big deal for them that they stay alive as late in the game as possible, and you can see how big it was for them. Getting 2nd place is no joke. They're going to be very happy with the points that they have here. And that's all for them quitting Picado. We're like, okay, this is too big of an event to try and show our, to try and contest Picado. We don't have that many games in our arsenal left. So they went Alcantara. Of course, they had another player playing just south that I think it was Samty. Then they went all the way up north and penetrated the circle from the northern end there, and it was quite a good entrance. Not a lot of teams were coming in from that angle.
No, it's kind of what I pointed out in our pre-show. I wanted to see them, instead of going for the Hail Marys, I wanted to see them kind of play the hooks and then stay on the edge instead of hooking in and then going center. So I like the kind of play style they did here. It's kind of what I wanted them to do. It's what they usually do when they frag out. But then again, they also came in the northern side where there were not that many teams, so they had the possibility to fight a smaller amount of teams instead of on the south, where we saw an absolute massacre with 12 teams fighting it out, and eventually only 1 member from Chiefs surviving that.
OMG's approach eventually was through from the north, going so far through the north to come in at the east side, and they did eventually get themselves a little bit of a fight, because let me just quickly check which 2 teams it were. They heard TG and Refund fighting, and you saw the opportunistic play coming out from OMG there. They instantly went as soon as they heard the fight.
And it's what they're good at. It's what they're good at nowadays, it seems. Not for a long time they've been doing this, but now they understand how powerful circle sweeping can be. And when they heard that fight with Refund coming out as the victors, they weren't victors for a long time. Those nades coming in from OMG absolutely decimated Refund Gaming, set them out early on, and gave OMG such a great boost for utility, for weaponry, for anything they wanted, ammo. It was all theirs for the taking.
I mean, honestly, here for me, it's the meta of the new competitive scene of the PUBG. I feel like third party and sweeping is completely new, or not new, but it's the new way of winning. It's the new way that you don't sacrifice your helmet, your chest armor, you don't lose durability, but you wait until they're the weakest, but also when they have the most knocks. So when you see a couple of knocks, then you stop third party. Perfect play by OMG. Perfect transition from them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And eventually they did go into the circle later on. Fallout in 10th place there, as we have some Avengers friends overall as well here for the Mercedes-Benz Arena, and we saw Liquid eventually being able to wipe out OMG. Of course, OMG got a lot of kills themselves regardless, but that was a big moment when Liquid was finally able to take them out. Lion KK didn't have much opportunity to respond.
No, he smoked himself. I actually expected him to start fighting them, but Honey Badger Nation did an insane amount of damage.
Yeah.
They killed or effectively killed or impacted the four last players, Edge and the 3 Liquid guys. Loki survived it.
Yeah, absolutely. But in that fight, of course, between Liquid and OMG, it was particularly special to note how Samty went for a 3+1 wide split there, and he helped out his teammates so much. They tried to nade that smoke, didn't work out, and then Samty said, okay, I'm going to be doing what I normally do, play the support role, help out my teammates. They were staying 3 strong. He went out on the side there, mini 14 to the dome of the last OMG player, and that was it.
I feel like the crates in this game were cursed. There was 4 AM, had 2 crates instantaneously, move on around, and they actually go out in 17th place. Knights pick everything up, la-di-da, happy stuff. Then they move along, they all die. I think it was off the Ghost.
Yeah, Ghost.
And then they move along, and then they all die off. And it's 3 crates worth. Everyone's just transitioning all these items.
I mean, with so many fights, there's no level 3 helmets or vests left. Everything is destroyed because of so many fights. But there were guns. We saw Edge having an AWM and a helmet.
Yeah.
And that could have been huge as well. But he cleverly decided to go around the other side instead of engaging on Liquid.
And his patience paid off as well. Very, very good set for his team. A lot of snakes this game, we noticed. And that's where, of course, Miramar offers very difficult transitions. You're going to lose a lot of members in your rotations. Your pathing has to be impeccable. Otherwise, you're going to be out of the game. But yeah, I'd like to point out Vard as well, playing as a solo. After first off, Larson got down, and then 2 of his teammates, the other teammate got down as well. Him puffer fishing. So if you would, let's make a biology lesson. Let's think about a snake that also turns into a pufferfish. It kind of looks a bit weird, but that was Vard this game. He was actively trying to keep his little spot there, trying to make it seem like it's a full team fighting against Liquid on the other side of the road, nading them to high grounds, and they actually left him be. So it worked out perfectly. Great clutch moment by him.
I mean, they got a top 7 position right there. With a lot of kills to them as well. So they're still in the top. They're not extending their lead, but they're keeping their lead.
One thing that we saw at the very end of that game was a lot of emotion out of 4 AM as we cut to them briefly. And they understand that their 17th place in the previous game was not good enough, and they want to be able to ramp things up, especially for the Chinese contingent that we have here supporting the Chinese teams. They're ferocious, and if they've got anything to learn from OMG, it's that, they can be done. It can be done here by the Chinese teams.
Creativity didn't necessarily seem to be the forte of the Chinese teams in other esports, but here it seems like they know exactly what they're doing. They're being very creative with their fights. They're doing everything correctly. And it's working out to their advantage. Sure, for 4 AM, it might be not, but another team from Asia that is very creative and very good at rotations.
That's right, it's Genji Gold, the winners of our previous game, and most importantly, from what we saw from them in TPP, they didn't do well in day number 1, but day 2 they showed up. Avenger, this could potentially be the prelude to them truly showing up here in day number 2.
They went home, they did the same magic as they did before day number 2 in TPP, and they're prepared. If we see the same from them, I mean, they doubled their points. They had 4 games yesterday, they doubled their points in this game only.
Yeah, well, let's not curse them yet. Of course, we got 3 matches left. I really don't want to do the same thing that happened to Myth earlier on at the start of the day. Let's not do that. Yeah, Genji Gold have a hefty climb up there. But as we were saying in the pre-show, of course, because so many points have been racked up by OMG, Genji Gold actually have a chance at getting to 2nd.
They definitely do. And remember, Genji Gold overall in the TPP, they won. They came first place with 3,300 points-ish. Currently, we see OMG around 2,900 points. So they still have 3 games to even kind of trump that position that they're in. But of course, all of these other teams have a lot of work to do. Knights is one of them as well, Avenger.
I mean, I feel like Knights had a very good position here. They did wipe out 4 AM. They had a good position. But again, we talked about it. The South. The majority, 70% of the teams on the server, they came in from the south because of the shift kind of went north in the important moment. Everybody collided in the south and fought it out, but only one player survived. Out of all those teams, only Edge came in from the south. Everybody else was in the middle or transitions from the middle towards the north or was in the north already.
Yeah. Can we talk about that for a moment, actually? Because we don't really get much chance to talk about Chiefs. While Savage also here as well, they actually got themselves 5th place during that game, so that was a phenomenal performance by them. Chiefs, we had so many kills racked up by them. They got themselves a 4th spot, and they got 11 kills. Edge with 7. That's got to be their best performance of the tournament yet.
It is at this moment in time, it seems, but Chiefs unexpectedly showing up right now. It's a bit late perhaps, but they did great in their qualifiers. They trumped over their teams. I was actually looking forward for more at this time of day, but talking about looking forward for more, perhaps another team that we could see more out of would be this one right here. Do you think they have a chance, Martin? Because I don't know how they could come back on that top 5 spot.
I mean, if they keep doing this, the money is still huge, right? We're talking 60,000 for 4th. They can still get up there if they continue this run.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. It's time now to head on to game number 2 of the final day here of PGI 2018. Let's head to the commentary team for all the action.
Thank you so much, and indeed, another round to go here. This time we do get to see the beautiful rolling hills of a map I much prefer to Miramar. So, I mean, I'm happy being back here. It is going to be a good matchup. We've seen the Gauntlet now not being kind of thrown back into the faces of OMG, but other teams are turning up, so that's why I've got some popcorn. I'm ready to watch the games, Rich.
You
can take it away.
You for me to go?
Yeah, go on.
All right, then we'll have to solo cast this one. We're starting off in the top for Zach here. We're going to be on the west coast, going diagonally across all the way to east. And we're going to be ending in FaZe's backyard. It will be Milta Power. Obviously, they're not here. Another team will be happy because it's going to be across their home territory. So a nice big spread straight across Erangel. Everybody can go to the home turf. Everybody, in theory, should be happy.
It's what you like to see. It kind of keeps everyone with the potential of not being messed up on those early positions where you have to think, oh, how am I going to get here? Do we have the cars available? Are they easy to handle? Do I have to fight for it? What way can I get around this? Now, looking at the skies, we'll be seeing Liquid doing their usual, spinning around on a dime, trying to keep everyone wondering where they are, and this is going to be the race for the vehicles, but actually, made in Thailand, actually finding 2 there, nice and quick pickups by School. It's obviously one of the higher percentage roads to get them on. If you have the compound right in front that normally has a car spawn, or can have a car spawn, one behind, plenty there, and these guys will know it. These guys know where the car spawns are, like the back of their hands and the percentage chance of it. But actually, Liquid aren't looking too alone early game Yasnaya here, so they could be in for a little bit of a scuffle back and forth, but hopefully nothing too major for them.
Slightly intriguing. 4 AM kind of lingering and lurking around the edges of Yasnaya. I'm intrigued to see if Na'Vi take a full roster all the way down to Prim. They're the ones who have the most work here when you look towards the playing path. No one up at Stalbus or Happy Days, but they have to go all the way down to Prim. We're already 2 minutes into this game, and they're only still flying on the edge of Gaka. And there is a team down there, so they can't land. They have to pray for some vehicles in there. If somebody gets lucky, I mean, the Chiefs are already taking a few shots. I can see on the map we are on the POV of Yumru. Fair few early engagements down in South George. We've seen that a fair few times between them alongside their George players. It's going to be WTSG, who, again, name would suggest that, to be honest. Further afield, Circle has come in. She's moved down to the east. Milta Power, skirting the edge of Millie Bay. Honey Badger Nation are going to be in. You'll see Drinking Gold, they're going to be in. Generally, all the teams, the one that may have the most difficulty we have is probably actually going to be the Georgia Pole teams.
Yeah, they'll probably have a tricky time coming in, just because the highways there are already going to be pretty rife with players, so it's always going to be hard rotational routes, very hard routing to get in towards that safety, but a lot of these teams who are in these outskirts actually do like relatively playing it late. We know Liquid are in no hurry, excuse me, not Liquid, but Welcome South George haven't been going mad central just yet, but they had a couple of games, so they'll pick it up and they'll try and get those center compounds, so they could be put through their paces, but they might have to switch gears here a little and try and approach it from a different way.
Just to make note as well, obviously you're seeing Ibiza on screen, level 2 bag, level 2 helmet, AKM, K98 on Scoom, they got bags, they got vests. Na'Vi still haven't even got past Quarry yet. They're still in vehicles. We're over 3 minutes into the game and they're still not their home territory. All right, they're going to have a bit of time still to loop, still plenty of time in the bag for them to do the usual things, but they may have to play it a little bit later. James, Silence 16 on the back, Happy Days for him. Again, AKM, vest, both level 2, well, excuse me, level 2 vest, level 1 budget helmet. Over towards the crates, Grammatic and his IGL Sexy Pig, they can do the usual thing. No one comes in here, so they can look like a trooper.
See, now I liked calling it the budget helmet. I might rename it to Hemlet, because it's not really a helmet. You know, it tries to be one, but it's not quite there, so I might go for Hemlet. We'll change it up. You know?
I mean, it's actually, officially, I think it's a biker's helmet, is it?
I think so, but Hemlet is
I'd like something a bit stronger if we're on a bike, to be fair.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
30% damage reduction. It's not
Looks
great.
like a bowling ball. It's not ideal. You will imagine you're going to hope they're going to level 2 throughout where they're losing. Again, this is just kind of something you want. It seems that teams, I think the desk highlighted it as well, being careful with how much you put credence in staying clean all the way through this game. In the fact that you don't want to take those early fights because your gear just gets trashed. And then you come in late game against someone who's completely pristine, you're kind of done for. Now, obviously, you can't avoid that the entire time. That's simply not how the game goes. But being mindful of it is something we're seeing more and more teams going for, playing those kind of very timed routes towards circle, ensuring they don't get in there too early and just have to take plenty of fights. They don't want to be going for risque sort of approaches. And it's smart. It's a good way to play it. We'll see if, speaking of smart, Profi, it's all good. It's fine.
Spoke about it a few times. I mean, there's a lot to be said for next fight survivability.
Yep.
What's your gear going into this next matchup? You know, can you take out the players that are going to be in front of you? You have to kind of weigh up a lot of things. Can we approach this fight? Can we win it out? Do they have any gear that we're going to need once we've ejected from it? Are we going to lose utility? Is there any point in taking this next battle? Because, again, you lose so much stuff and so much utility going for the late game. Yes. There is a, and this is where you rely on your IGL, there is a point in PUBG where, should I bother shooting? Oh
no, there is a huge balance, and I think the good teams know it. Now, I want to start talking about the prime positions, the prime cuts, where teams who like those early rotations and the central spots will be heading towards. Now, we've seen a lot of the teams kind of opting to sit below the south of prison, along this kind of area. There's a couple of compounds, a lot of hillsides to play off that dirt road that leads in between, I guess, apartments and north of farm, slap bang in the middle of that. We'll see a lot of teams going for that as well, and that's actually where a lot of the fights are. Liquid often go for it when it's available, but that certainly is not the case here. They'll have too many teams in their way.
I'm really happy you touched on Liquid, because they've only just set off, and that's a team generally when they like to go early. They like to get in the vehicles, go get early grounds, get some sort of compound, get a prime position. Necessarily, they've not done that this game. There are plenty of people ahead of them. The Knights are doing the usual. They're spread across the map around Prism. We have Myth, we have TG, we have Ghost. They're all clamped together, as we say that. Turtles POV. McCoy gets a knock. The SLR does its job. Profi comes through, seals the deal. 15 points move to the North American roster. They smell blood, they want more. Not necessarily the best setup on there. I think it was a Copra 2 times. Flash Hider on the front.
Known for their bloodlust.
And we played various games where there are angry turtles, but that's another story.
Made in Thailand, having to adjust. I think, again, this is just teams trying to find a nice position to begin in. OMG, they always kind of loot the southern Golden Coast as such, work their way across it. No big hurry. Plenty of areas to get to. You can do nice splits, and the way they move is great. They'll send out the 2 players first. You know, use the scouting method very cleanly. This time they're being quite central. They're not sitting back and waiting. We have seen them occasionally get towards that eastern bridge, not necessarily camp it, but hold around that area. Not a bad idea at all. But this compound is just as strong. They'll trick you to rotate away from if you don't have vehicles, but we know they do. So they're sending Silent out and Lion KK to have a little look around. Honey Badger Nation and Gen G Gold working their way out of Nova, but no mad hurry for anyone at this point. It's just the early teams who might have wanted a little bit of a different position to play from.
I mean, if you're OMG, you know for a fact that with only 3 games remaining, you are in contention to win this whole thing. You've got such a massive boost in front. I think you can just aim for a minimum, do the Evermore strat, so to speak. Know where you need to be throughout the game. The coach will be saying in the back, okay, we need a minimum of this position coming into the final 2 to get some sort of points on the board. You'll be expecting teams to move early. You'll be expecting your prime locations, your prime compounds to be taken. So honestly, I don't blame them for splitting things up, as you can see on screen left-hand side. 2-2 split, vehicles in hand, couple of warning shots going for an OHM, just in the Farmville. On the left-hand side to it, above that, you've got Ghost, who are also receiving a bit of fire. Again, warning shots, stay away from this. This is all ours, they are spread out. TG on the Golden Road, the one that pretty much heads all the way up to Yaznaya. You've got Knights lingering there, you've got Myth, Savage, CGW. Nobody in Middle of Power, so everyone's kind of
bidding on this, moving away from the water, moving inland, and knocking out Milta-Power, knocking out Nova, knocking out Sosnovka.
Yeah, Milta-Power is... Again, it's funny how they just kind of cluster central. It's risk management. You can't blame them for the early couple of circles. You know how the circles work in the competitive mode. It's been all over Reddit. If you guys don't know about it, I'm sure you can have a little read up, and it's in the rules as well, which is never fun to read. They're like 50 pages. But the point is, the teams know how it works. They're going to... Oh, speaking of how it works, Funky M shows us what that AKM can do. And Larson feels the pressure early on. They have been having a tough time here. Welcome South George. We theorized their rotations could be tough, and they certainly have been.
Did not see that one coming. Rotation doesn't go his way, clips the tire, and absolutely smashes him to a million pieces. Larson deleted from the server, we're sitting back in, trying to help with the communication now, looking at other people's screens, and generally being the IGL from a distance. Gaxi throwing out some answer backs. Meow's been tagged up and hurt quite badly. If he can at least get a couple of bullets onto the tires, it takes some sort of utility away from it, or at least makes it difficult to rotate going forward. Pino with the smokes, they'll try and at least build something here so they can get themselves back to 100% health. Maybe they move away. I mean, I don't mind the position that they're in. WTSG definitely have a better one because they have an elevated line of sight. But certainly it's not bad with 3 vehicles and still a fair amount of players up. AHQ. They'll take the wards area just on the backside of the yellows, opposite long wards. But parallel to them, you will see Honey Badger Nation on almost the same rotation here.
If you are just tuning in, this is all first-person perspective here. This is what we were all looking at. We thought it could be dominated by your CIS, EU, NA. That has not been the case. The Korean teams have looked good. The Chinese teams have looked phenomenal thus far. And again, this has been something that has caught us a little off guard and certainly turned a couple of the heads in the community as well. But it's wonderful to see. We could be seeing a bit of a battle, as I just said, between some of the very good teams on that eastern bridge. Maybe a back and forth, maybe not a fully committed fight, but you have OMG down there, you have Genji Gold down there, so that could be a fun one to keep your minds towards if you see a couple of names in the kill feed. That southern road is getting littered with teams here. Na'Vi on the other side, still sticking out towards the west, slowly working their way forward. I think we've all died on this hill trying to stop a bike at some point, and it just flips forward for no ungodly reason. But it is what it is. Rainy's.
Imagine.
That would have been ambitious.
He can do it though, he's a man who can.
It's like when the buildings don't render in when they're that far away, you're like, oh, okay, that's a far shot. That's a tricky one.
It's a bad boy. 4 AM. Just watching people rotating on by. 8 times on the back of the minute. Look for an SLR if you can find one, or a K98. Try and get the 7.62 with the 8 time. It's always nice at range. Na'Vi and a Vanga. Men from the CIS. Lepovka just above yellow as well, opposite ends of the spectrum here on the map. The circle will constrict and she will go almost dead center.
Hoping for that. Again, warding people away. Still have to be careful on your ammo management as well. You don't want to expend everything and be left with nothing. It's the nightmare and the reason I carry 300 bullets for no reason. But in the back of your mind, it's not what you want. But Godv going to be able to control himself there. And as you said, the circle very much pulling itself very central. This is what a lot of the teams will gamble on and what they'll hope for. And you're going to see who really gets the benefit of it down the line. You can be seeing the edge teams playing their way forward. Na'Vi, Chiefs, for example. A couple of bits of fire. Again, it's Knights this time who will be loving this circle. Keep in mind, they loot very much around this area.
Oh, Avanga have also joined the fray. 4 players up. Myths there. We got CGX, we got 4 AM, we got Knights. I actually like Avanga's position here. They found it just on the edge of the prison. Samti finds Dre. Dre also onto Ares. That's going to be a headshot. Samti always with the snipes. You've got to be careful. That man can tear a helmet off at some serious range. Voxic will be able to get his teammate up at least. Only 2 players dead so far. 12 minutes 40 into the game. This is going to be quite a slow one, especially with this circle as well. What will be interesting, Lauren? Oh my, Potato Hill, just to the right-hand side of Pachinki. Got Navi on top. Chiefs are there. And Black are rolling up to the party as well. We might have 3 teams hit each other.
So I'm pretty sure Chiefs are on the plateau that sits on the western side of it. Na'Vi to the top. And actually, Genji Black are the ones who could be in for a bit of fun here. It looks like Chiefs are actually peeling off of this. They might have just felt the pressure coming in, or maybe spoil one of the Black players and just gone, nope, 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 no, no, don't want it. Yoon Root's on the way. Sexy Pig is there. I don't think they knew Na'Vi was around. Maybe they did. Maybe they heard the suppressor going off or something of the such. But now, if you're Na'Vi, you're wondering, why are they escaping so quickly? What if they're running? Should I be running? I mean, I'd be a bit worried. Na'Vi taking a couple of shots, but every shot they take allows Gingy Black to get a bit closer.
Took the words right out of my mouth. By firing off that SKS now, it's give the information to Black that there is a team directly in front of them. Here are the vehicles, you'll also have the information. Sexy Pig has definitely spotted them. He's told his teammates to back off, bring the vehicles, and we'll do something from here. Trigger discipline for now. And we'll just hold back. There's no point in being pinned outside the circle. How are they going to play this one? All the players are going back out into the white, so they're going to go for vehicles and then maybe re-rotate.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, actually. They'll be looking for other options. If you're feeling pressure, if you're not wanting it, it's ideal to just back away from it. You don't want risks in these games. There's essentially this round and 2 more to go, and that is it. And that's done.
Interestingly, Na'Vi are looking their way, Lauren, which suggests to me that they have that info.
And Sexy Pig is still there, though.
He's on his own, which is quite scary to be honest. So watch the kill feed, you'll see if he comes through. Silent finds one as well. Taps away with the M4 6 times on the back of it. And he does. Molodor finds Sexy Pig. So, Genji Black's IGL and then Fragger, unfortunately, will fall. Interesting that he stayed there on his own. Probably really wasn't worth it. Maybe it was the backup plan. Maybe it was to try and watch what's going on, give the information to the rest of Black while they reposition themselves, which is exactly what they're doing now. They've got the vehicles.
Hammer. Couple of shots. And it is really the DMR meta right now. We are seeing it so prevalent throughout this.
It's because there's so many of them on map. I think there's potentially a slight increase in spawn rate. I could be wrong there, don't quote me. I remember seeing something in the patch notes. But they're just so easy to find. And the fact that you can fit also AR attachments to them, you'll just see constantly.
Suppress.
Suppress mini, suppress mini, suppress mini.
Yeah, and it sounds quite nice. I do like the mini. And Kramer going to be feeling a bit of pressure off the back of it though. Has to peel away, hit the deck, prone away, get the heal off. You can't get too overzealous on this. A Kar 98 can still rip your face off. Let's keep that in mind. The gun's still an animal. I always love the Kar 98. It's one of the ones that I love looking at players who can really use it, make it look darn good. And, Texas isn't going to be allowing me any happiness here. He's just taking wild pot shots.
I remember with mini as well, it takes 5.56, so it's very easy to keep a hold of. 46 damage per time. It's a nasty little gun. If you get a decent scope on it, you're laughing. You can carry as much 5.56 for days. 7.62, you are limited because it does weigh heavier amounts.
Circle goes north.
Liquid already under fire as they approach their next position. Everyone now needs to move around.
Yeah, I'm looking to see where teams go, because there's not that many options, Rich.
No, there isn't a great deal of compounds there. I think Avanga are in the best place at the moment. They've got the backside of prison. They can chill and do their own thing. OMG have to run an absolute madman of a gauntlet here. You've got Knights on the right-hand side. You've got Liquid in front of you. Honey Badger Nation to your left. The bullets are already coming down from TG. This is going to be dangerous. Keep an eye on that kill feed. OMG have got fire from 5 different angles. They're actually running.
They're pulling up.
Yeah, they're pulling into the Knights, Lauren.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. Knights already took a bit of a scuffle, so some of them are going to be trying to heal up here. Pure Boys line up the kill feed. That's Chiefs under fire, but OMG just need to try and find a bit of respite for a second, settle into this area, because you've still got CGX in the back lines, laying down a couple of bits of shots towards Knights. You can see those return bits of fire coming out. Knights ensuring there's no escape here for OMG now.
Thankfully for that. Ooh.
Liquid might be able to get a glimpse or two as well, depending where they are. Silence gone down.
Okay, so that's pretty big. CGX at the moment, of course, 2 teams, all kinds of problems. We've seen back and forth engagements for them. Laveri on Potato. He feels the blunt end of a 7.62. 3 players alive for OMG here. SLR in hand, I'm seeing. At the front lines, who went down first? Is that the Chiefs? It is the Chiefs, so the Oz is out in 20th position. Ragnar onto TG as well. That's a headshot with a Kar 98.
Look at that angle.
I mean,
I was going to say, right, Knights were being quite cheeky. They put a couple of players down to the tunnels. Now, normally you don't expect teams to do that just because it's really awkward to play through. There's so many angles where you can get picked up. I remember when people first worked out where Shelter was before there was names on the maps. And it was just a bloodbath down there. It was terrifying to play through, but very good fun. But now you know those angles and it's very tricky. But that was a filthy low one, just prone to the top of the stairs watching that. Now, James, keeping tabs on 4am. You stand still, Aluka. Your head will go rolling.
I was quite intrigued to see if like one of the OMGs just decided to go full-blown YOLO and just, you know, run underneath, creep out the other side. Hello, Knights. Welcome to the party. Dip down low. Both teams have the option to do that if they want. You wouldn't expect it because it's such a bottleneck going up the stairs. You're just going to get lined up by so many ARs. The Knights will block. Again, if someone wants to come out the stairs, they've got a bit of a blockade there. They've got vehicles where they can eject from. again. Can 98, minis, they've got range, they've got scopes, they're laughing for now. Esker and the rest of Gold, it's time for them to make their move. Their first rotation, they're coming out of Nova, heading towards the map, and they're going to take the east side of the circle.
We saw them before kind of skirting the edges in the last couple of days when they didn't have success in first person in comparison to third. So maybe this is the adjustment. They've gone back over, watched the replays, and they've gone, okay, this would work for us. This is way better for us. I am seeing Ibi not there, but I'm sure there's another team close by. Probably Drainies, potentially maybe the Mini helping out as well.
Kopfer in the kill feed, the 24 hit him point blank in the face. That's going to be a warning shot and a half. That circle once again. Almost going central. 4am, Liquid, Knights, OMG, CGX, 4am. All these teams currently sitting happy. A little bit of a reposition will have to come out by Vanga. Will they opt to go around and back in? Gold, they're already on foot. They're already going for it. Vehicles in hand, away we go. But from the back lines, AHQ, downside of Mansion. They'll be dinking them up something chronic, so when they arrive, there'll be all kinds of damage on those vehicles. Won't be using too much of them for too long. Chalater's going to wait back and see if he can get some sort of information. Actually, I suppose if you poke the bear, you get the claws they've set up here. Maybe set a trap for HQ as they come flying by.
CPT's on this, though. I think Gold will probably try and pull up it. Oh, OMG. You've got players very close by now. We did have players keeping eyes on those tunnels, but you're going to hear those steps if you're drilled into this. Ballot could be there as well. We'll see if they keep a really good mindset around that. I know a lot of people have been thinking OMG are going to come out of this looking good, and I don't blame you. They've been playing good games, but they are in a really tough spot. So many angles to keep tabs on. 4am on the move. Actually going to back away from this one and refund. Doing well.
Humroot's gone down. Godv's also been picked up by Samty. You called that one earlier on. Finds his target. Aries straight onto Minaru. He's dead. He's gone. Myth lose a player. Total rankings come up on your left-hand side. As we were talking about, you can see almost 3k in the bank for OMG. AHQ again. They got a little bit overzealous and took a couple of pop shots. Just put him over.
Yep, just caught him on the rotation, I'm pretty sure. Welcome South George, not feeling good about that, but Navi can't confirm this, I'm pretty sure. This could be everyone else carrying on forward, but Welcome South George, we're just in the open fields. There's so many angles, Gaxi is in so much trouble, he can't find safety. It's OMG finding the kills.
It was indeed a double run over. One of them run him over, other one came across and confirmed the kill, but now all of a sudden Navi have rocked up to the wrong side of the party. Drainers is down, Ilam's damaged, Eba, he's killed, he's gone.
And you can see the live
They're dead.
rankings. This is great. You're seeing the updates as it goes. Indeed, they are dead. But we are going to be seeing a huge cluster around Shelter, a huge amount of players here. This is going to be a lot of kills coming in. We have to make sure that they're actually teams going out here or actual confirmed kills. That's going to be one. Esther, fire from afar. It's Ibi finding it. Liquid have condensed themselves. They brought everyone back together now. Putting themselves through. OMG finding Gaxi. He's been having a tough time here.
That's good for them. Take out the main fragger of your number 2 target that's directly below you. Feels bad, man, for Na'Vi. They rocked up at the wrong time. They go down in 18th place on the rotation. Just couldn't find anyone with the circle size. The central's open, but there's not a lot of defilade to kind of cover your backside on. Simpson goes down. Mumino finds him. They move down from the prison. Esker still just trying to find somewhere to go. Simpson now going to get put out of his misery. AHQ have actually been gifted a favor for now. However, they have fire from yet another angle. 2 players remaining, and that vehicle is just wobbling as the tires are removed.
You've got a couple of teams in real trouble right now. Welcome South George. Miraku is pretty much taking fire from a lot of angles. You can see him now trying to find any cover, any respite. You've got Grammatic prone down. That's very much another team who's in trouble down to one sort of player. Beyond that, you've got Ghost, you've got OMG, Knights, Honey Badger Nation, all very close by. So these will be the teams you might see in the kill feed, but it's actually Jeans finding Texas, landing some very fast shots here, keeping pressure on over maybe 200, 300, 400 meters of a shot coming out from him.
Bullet comes in from a different angle. Both 2 members of AHQ fall back-to-back simultaneously. K3, last man standing in the middle. Chalater puts M4 out of his misery. Fast Rail goes down as well. Voxic sees him, NA on an A. Kramer finds a fast rail, will at least confirm that kill. EU picks up 15 points for Pittsburgh Knights. 4 members alive, same with Team Liquid.
Let's see the next circle. The circle claiming a victim. Okay, here we go. So this is big. Let's look at the teams in good positions and who's not. Ideally, who's not for now. Who needs to be making the moves? Who needs to push themselves into the circle? Made in Thailand, Team Gates, a couple of the Vanguard guys. Genji Gold. Actually, Texas gets spotted here in those tunnels. He can't get away. Hot on the heels. You can be seeing Ghost making the push now. Texas being hunted down. And he will indeed be confirmed dead. But the rest of Knights now will be on notice. They'll know there are players in these tunnels. It is not safe down below.
Like how you called it. The only good thing about that death is that Knights can be given that information. There are players lurking beneath, so they can move into a better spot. Maybe get ready for the oncoming assault, what could potentially happen. Oh, hi, just looking further afield. He spots a couple of Liquid members in the distance. Every single bullet he cracks off with that one. I'll get the more information. His teammate comes flying down from upstairs, completely tanked up. That was close. Lion KK gets his health back. First aid, happy days for him. Stims are in the back pocket as well.
Is that Welcome South George done for? I can't see any more of them
It
alive.
is 17.
That's a big loss and a huge opening now to that top 5, top 6. XCO still going to be finding some fire here. High ground being held. Nade comes out. They need some pressure to be taken away from them. CGW in trouble. That's a confirmed kill. And Nade just about makes... Oh, the car comes through out of nowhere.
Doesn't find a target, but this is madness. They're getting picked apart left, right, and center. Who's gone down? It's AHQ, the first one to fall. K3, last player alive for his team. Did TG go down as well at the same time?
Some of them did, yeah. There was a couple of shots coming back from CGX. And
Mossy and Mortify. Thankfully, these two are alive, but they got fire from the backside. They find Team Gates wipes out Crest Gaming Windfall. That means they eliminated all 4 players back to back. A little bit unfortunate for them. We're down to 14, 41 individuals. Mossy going to put the smokes up because he knows that the fire is going to be coming from directly in front of him. Gold eliminates Black. Chileta finds Grammatic. Scoom onto Sadat as well. This circle, everybody's finding everybody because the central's open. It's the edges what are causing problems, especially down south. We've got about 7 teams.
James is out and about. He's going for a walk, and if he lands some of these shots, they're big. He's got a lot of ammo to play with. He's feeling it. He's fancying his chances. Gotta be careful, though. Vanguard not in a good position just yet. They're just getting into the new safety as such, and there's a lot of teams very close by keeping eyes on this. Now, Liquid, luckily for them, have a lot of range here. They'll be able to keep a lot of teams under pressure. They're still in the circle. It's when they have to leave. You're going to see a bit of a predicament. Now, Gold under fire from afar. You've got to be careful, Eska. Can't step too far now.
Bigger point for Liquid is the fact that they brought the vehicles inside the hangar so they can chill. The next circle will dictate how many of these teams die. Pure Boy goes down from the zone. Yukon finds Eska, knocks him for now. 4 AM to the rescue. Maybe rather than a rescue, this could be a death pact for them. They're pushing hard. Yukon's got the grenade. Loki's going for the revive. How good's it gonna be?
Just short. Staying alive on the move. 48 seconds until they do need to start really considering where they're going to go here. Loki trying to put up a bit of a wall. 4 AM still going to be... That's not bad. That's very good. Aluka. What an arm on him.
Kobe. Second one's there. Will it confirm it? Of course it does. 2 nades back to back. Loki's fate is sealed. 3 members alive here for 4 AM. But they do have a bit of a journey to get to that next circle. It's ejected Liquid out, it's ejected Gold out, 4 AM, OHM, CGX, all the southern teams. We've only got 3 inside the circle, Lauren.
Yeah, the problem is that this has to be now just compounds being made by cars, and if you still have yours, you're feeling better about it, but you're still seeing the pressure that comes in. It's not for free. Liquid have very little to play off. There's a couple of trees here and there, not many hillsides, but Vanguard fighting their way forward as well. They were the ones who were stuck on the outside for some time. CGX were gatekeeping them, but now they fall forward. That southern side, it's still safe, but it's looking scary, the amount of teams that James spotted out one. He knows where they are. He can make that call now.
Let me give the information, but Refund are actually putting a lot of pressure on Liquid. They're trying to get into this circle. They're not in just yet. That rock is not in. They are literally teetering on the edge. James should be potentially maybe getting up here. He's got the 8 times on that bad boy. Try and give them some kind of a pick.
Yep.
Scoom puts out the smokes in the back lines. You see this from Scoom. He likes to be the man that keeps that back covered, gives the information that's needed.
But look at that live ranking now. You can see the teams that are knocked out, how much this is down on Liquid and Honey Badger Nation. James doing well for himself. This could be a massive moment for them. This could push them right up into second. We welcome South George going down so early. Turtle trying to make a mad dash for it, but Lion KK. This man is so damn good. No kills this game though, quiet for him. But the rest of the team are doing nicely.
Honestly, it doesn't really matter at this stage because of the position that they've got. They've stayed in this circle for so long. They haven't had any players drop, I don't believe, as well. Jeems does find a pick. That's massive, because now they can eject one from Refund. The other player has to revive him, so that's potentially 2 down for Refund. This will give them the time to reposition, get inside the circle. But the problem is the Knights also have eyes on them as I say that. Dre actually goes down from Scoom. The nades are coming across. We are looking toward this fight. It's OMG looking forward. Goes directly in front.
Nice tag from Lion. KK gets good damage
Through
on
the
Turtle.
smoke.
What a play from Lion. Wakes up and he feels a little hungry here. Next nade to follow. Who's the next victim? High up and over. Balak's on the revive. If that catches him, that could have been huge, but no, they stay alive for now.
Through the smoke. Just absolutely no messing around. Wick finds Ghost in the backlines.
That's a third party and a half.
That's opened the door for OMG. That gives them so much more to work with. Lion KK finds Turtle, knocked and hurt, buries him for 15 points, confirms the kill. Dre onto 4am CPT. He hits the deck. Liquid, they're on a rotation. Early. They've got the vehicle. This is what they usually do. This is the Liquid.
Where
we want to
going?
see. They're going to drive into the Knights though, Lauren.
This is so scary now. Knights are on the other side of this. Liquid might have just rolled up. It depends on the angles that they have now. Knights are going to be taking a fight. They've got the high ground. Liquid.
Imagine.
Imagine. That nade. Oh, for a second I thought that could have gone to their lap, and Ibby's just lobbing them up and over. That one's good. Oh! Ibiza! He gets 2!
He's gone for a third. Is that going to kill any of them?
No, it just goes to the side, but now it's go time. Ibby has opened the door and he is running through it. If he can get down to these guys, if he works out what he has done to them, that is incredible play from Ibiza. That has given Liquid a chance.
Bigger picture, because they knocked Dre so early on, he's bled out fast. He's gone. He's pushed 2 of them downstairs. Ibby, what a god nade. The 2 versus 1 is real. Now the rest of Liquid, they're allowed to move up.
But they're still under, there's still so much threat here. Knights still have their players back up and standing. They're the only other team in the circle right now. But look at the positioning from Liquid. They have to still deal with Refund. They have been a threat in the back lines. Jeems gets spotted though. Now he's noticed. Now they know where he is. The nades are going to come out. He's got no helmet. He's a bit of a walking wounded. He's going to do whatever he can to try and hinder these guys' approach, but he does get knocked. He goes down. It's time to look bigger picture here. Refund under fire. Everyone looking their way. It's 4am. It's Refund getting the kills coming down. The nade goes forward, but not too far. And they'll stay alive for now.
Scooms up the front of the rock. I don't think they have the information. They are looking his way. Whether or not he's been copped is a different thing. Samsy's down. 2 players as well. Wick finally confirmed dead. OMG still racking up the points in the back lines. 4am, they get 15 and they wipe out Honey Badger Nation. Refund M24 seals Ibby's fate. He'd been pushed up early. So now it literally comes down to the last man standing, which will be Scoom. He's gone. Liquid, they go out in 6th.
I don't know if that's going to push them above Welcome South George either. I think this is enough for them to stay in that second position. Now let's look at who's left in this one. You've still got some of Ghost in here. OMG are in here. 4am. Knights. The Refund. They're the ones in the good spot now. They have all 4 players. They have a good position. They have map control. They've got it all, but they still have these guys to get past, and I will never doubt OMG.
Xiaorong needs to crawl up here. The blue's on his back. I think there actually might just be potentially outside of the circle here. They'd have to go quite far forward. It's going to do so much damage. It's tanking like a bad man here. He's dead. 2 players remain for OMG. But again, Lauren, does it really matter? They've made it into top 5.
And they are the heavy fraggers here. These are the big boys. You've got Lion KK and Zhao Hai, but McCoy's been in these tunnels the whole time. He's like a little sewer rat down here. He's just sneaking his way around, keeping them guessing. Look at him, he's stayed alive this entire time.
They have to move soon, though, because eventually it becomes mathematically impossible for you to get out of here. The blue will crush it.
It's tagged him, though. He's tagging up players. He's making Knights really uncomfortable.
Push it back, so they know that he has to come out of here. He knows the ball's in the Knights' pocket for now. Meanwhile, up top, hooking a grenade. It's probably not going to be good enough. A little bit more to the left would have done enough. It's actually
pretty good.
It bounced. It did all kinds of damage.
Now, Pino, I don't think he knows who he's tagged up or what he's done, but he's got a really nice angle on these guys. OMG going to be holding the line, but there's something to be said about Pika's advantage, and they might just have it. Pino, only level 1'd up, though, but he might get the timing right. He's up and over. Peekaboo, he gets down 1. Zhao Hai goes. It's Pino now looking to do some more. Lion KK turns attention. This man known for the power, and that's a dink and a half. Gonna keep him humble. Gonna look for more, look for the next option. Where's the next player gonna push me from? Where's that next threat available? And he's still on the hunt, on the prowl, working his way through the smokes, working his way forward. Refund, trying to work out where he's gone, but he's gonna hit the deck and hold his breath now.
It's a beautiful AR as well. Scar, grip, compensator on the front. Might potentially even kill his own teammate to deny 15 points here if he's no way to saving him. Which doesn't happen. DJ Chip picks up the 15.
Shanghai gone.
You hear the bullets in the back line, red dot in hand. Happy to just let them approach this. He has the side of this circle. He has the side of the hill if they do want to crest it. Able to look up and just see them silhouetting.
Look at this play. They're just on top of each other. There's 3 layers to this. Lion KK on top, Kramer next in line, and then there's still McCoy down below, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So there is a layer of 3 teams, and then you look at Refund, and they are just taking it all. They have 4 players alive. They have the map in their hands. Lion KK just does not know what he's walking into. He could still be such a threat here, but McCoy, he's got to go through the blue to get out of this. And Knights are waiting with bated breath.
And you look at what they've got as well with the Hollows, a Scar and an AKM. They're happy. Here comes the push though up the hill. Lion KK should be hearing this. He turns around in a pinhead. How many will be able to see? Goes for 1. It's not going to happen. OMG, they go down in 4th.
And now it's Knights and Ghost standing in between Refund and a big victory. And you can see Voxic and Kramer now turning attention. They know they're in trouble here. 3 teams alive, 10 seconds. McCoy needs to make his move, and he needs to make it fast. He might just try and outlive this, try and stay alive as long as he can, because Refund are looking hungry. Look at them swarming the map. Every single angle controlled. Knights cornered, backed away. Guns pulled to their chest, praying they get a second to maybe respond to something. But Funky M, he's going to be just watching from above. The moment this moves, McCoy is done for. He is dead in the water. Voxic and Kramer, you know your time is limited. You need to make your move now. McCoy is done. It's down to 2. Voxic will take DJ Chip. But Funky M, he's so close by. The nade comes out, and the blue will still continue to work forward. That could be a confirmed kill. It is. 2v3 now. Funky M waiting on the push. Angle now being held. Free fire comes out. Mio holding it. He gets 1. No, the trade. It's Funky M, and it is Refund, bringing the audience to their feet and getting that win on the board.
The old bait and switch. Funky just drops down from above and nails them both to seal the win. Incredible work from Refund. They kept 4 alive until the very last circle. Don't get me wrong, the Knights, they managed to scrape another 15 points in the bag. Only 3 kills, but certainly a 2nd placement. We'll be able to jump them up the rankings a little bit more. McCoy, who else? The Snake himself downstairs, bagging 3rd position. OMG though, 4th again.
They're still up there.
Keeping in the top 10 for these guys, all they need to do. A little bit unfortunate for Liquid, Ibby's grenade. The 2 that he got in the tunnel were absolutely fantastic. It was rather disappointing.
For the fans. He's playing the audience well.
Scoom couldn't go any further. They got a couple of kills in the bag and they went out in 6th. 4AM also in 5th. Very spread when we look at the different regions in the top 7 for that one. The final replay from the previous one again. Voxic picking up 15 points, and every single point counts when you're looking at the leaderboards. But watch this bait and switch, Lauren.
Yeah, holding a deep angle, forcing Knights to play out of it, and then came in Funky. Yeah, really well played, very good approach to the matchup, holding their calm and their nerve in the highest of pressure situations. And you've got to love this. It's incredible to see. The community's incredible watching this one. And Rich, it's been an absolute honor. I think we're done for now. We're done for the day. We're going to join you guys in the crowd. We'll catch you soon. Teams going out here, actual confirmed kills, that's gonna be one extra. 4AM still gonna be, that's not bad, that's very good. Luca, what an arm on him.
Kobe, second one's there, will it confirm it? Of course it does.
Liquid.
Imagine, imagine.
Oh, for a second I thought that could have gone to their lap, and Ibby's just lobbing them up and over. That one's good. Oh! Ibiza! I'm waiting waiting on the push. Angle now being held. Free fire comes out. Neo holding it. He gets one low. The trade. It's Funky M.
OMG's position to really grab this. This is the last play zone. Anyone got a grenade?
OMG's going to see him looking down into the thicket. And OMG claim first position as China, who get to take number 1 in round 1. Texas going for the push. They want the quick kills. It is 2 teams. Yaron goes for the kill. Getting into Texas, but he was outside in the blue. Knights, a huge round for the Pittsburgh Knights.
OMG on the verge of glory. Samsi on the switch up. DP, he goes down. It's OMG to claim the victory. CPT might have a horrible surprise. It actually dips past him. Half damage done and the confirmed kill for Lion KK. Can someone stop this guy? And this surely is going to be the closing moment. It is! OMG! Phenomenal play today. Have torn apart everyone.
我尽量去减少就是队伍因为阵型出现的失误，然后我们今天表现得很完美。我们明天想比今天做得更好。今天打成这个样，现在已经没有害怕的队伍。谢谢中国粉丝一直为我们加油 ，China number one。
พี่โน่ครับโอ้ไม่เกี่ยวอันนี้เป็นสเต็ปครับอันนี้สเปนเป็นชุดหนึ่งเป็นดับเบิลคิวคิวครับขึ้นมาสเปนชุดหนึ่งแล้วเอาไล่โดนดูแล้วโดนสวนมาเอาสวนที่ได้แทงทุกคนไปหนึ่งขึ้นมาเป็นที่มันดับเบิลคิวครับแล้วมันดับโอ้แล้วเป็นคิวครับอินโดครับมาไปแล้วยิงด้วยครับดูสิครับยิงมาน็อกไปหนึ่งครับก็หัวไปแล้วไปต่อครับเอ็มจีโอ้มาดูตำแหน่งคลานมาลุกอะไรมายิงแล้วก็แมนด็อกครับผมทีมด็อกครับได้แชมป์ไปในเกมแรกนี้เก็บไปครับยังยิงต่อครับนาทียังไง2-3อีกแล้วหนึ่งไปโคเซียแล้วระเบิดเขาเจนเราเกมมิ่งครับน็อตเกมซับได้ฮอนเองก็โดนด้วยครับเมื่อกี้ครับใช่ครับนัดเดียวSKS ครับผมแล้วเก็บไปเลยครับไล่1นัดครับหัวครับของนันเห็นแล้วยิงสบายเน้นเรียบร้อย2 ตกครับผมเนี่ยครับเฮียดาไปครับผมโอ้โหอ้อมครับผมถือว่าสวยครับธนวัฒน์มาช่วยยิงครับจากนั้นนี่ธนวัฒน์เก็บได้ไหมครับแล้วนี่แล้วเก็บได้ครับวินเจอครับตอนนี้ยิงสู้ได้ไป1ครับผมยิงเก็บไปเลยสวินครับเอาไปต่อครับด้านบนมีคนมิโนไม่ง่ายเหมือนกันครับมิโนถือว่าแม่นนะตอนนี้ 机会来了，这个话打掉之后的满载，虽然小明在圈内，但是没有能够抵挡顾存的最后一枪。โดนหมอกด้วยแล้วก็เป็นหมอกที่จะกลายเป็นหน้าหวั่นไหวแชมป์เป็นของลีฟันครับในเกมสุดท้ายนี้
2-1あー記録
And just pushing up for the flank, and YK Kamukau's looking for the revive. Never mind, he's going to get sprayed down and
Rajatoro derruba, Agnar pegador.
Don't take those tickets back and stay in those seats, because there's only one refund going on here, and it's Refund Gaming coming in with the victory there in round number 6. What a play from them, being able to control the circle and finish things off in the shelter. Here's the standings from that game overall, 11th through 20th. Unfortunately for some of the names there, some of the names at the very top, like Navi, not being able to get the points that they really want. Moving on through 1st and 10th though, overall, seeing Refund Gaming able to eke out that win there. Very good stuff for them.
Yeah, for sure. They've been doing a fantastic keep on the north side of the circle, closing in there. They've taken out the Liquid, which was a bit scary of a moment. Liquid set their guns away from them, and they didn't consider Refund to be in their backside. So the way they had their split was a bit more further for the shelter area. There is a solid beats. It was absolutely dominating against the Knights. So because they were so busy with that area there, Refund was able to sneak in from behind, and then when they saw it was a bit too late for anybody to stop them, and they made their push, and it worked out just fine.
I understand why they wanted the 2 players in the back, because they wanted to protect the guys coming out, pushing from Knights. They didn't expect Ibiza to take 2 down with a nade. What I wanted to see from them, though, was all 4 of them committing fully to that, because that was very central to the zone, and we saw it ending right where EB actually pushed onto. I really wanted to see them stay together there, because they lost that fight, because they went down 1 by 1 to Refund as they pushed in towards the zone.
And I'm wondering if that was an overconfident play from Liquid to split up like that, to trust the power of every single one of their members, which is indeed very, very big, but this moment in time, it just felt like they were pressured in from way too many points.
On the last circle, everything kind of came Refund's way, with Knights having to step out of that shelter. Particularly, I want to highlight Funky M's position just around the corner. They always had to eventually come out, and it would be able to take him down very easily. Refund Gaming get themselves quite a few points there and push up into the top 10. However, OMG is now 1,100 points ahead. It seems like that #1 spot is all but assured for them. And at this point, I would love to see them just keep marching, just keep dominating, because they have the potential to do so, Avenger.
I mean, I want to see a World Championship, world-breaking record.
Right.
I mean, 3,300 points nearly. That's insane.
That is
we have never seen anything from anybody in any region before. And this is a world championship. I mean, it's insane you can do it against these other teams here, because they're also world class.
However, what seems a bit more worrying to me, rather than OMG, of course, running away with the lead, still going strong, is the fact that now Liquid have crept up behind WTSG with 100 or a bit less than 100 points. So Liquid are in the runner-up for that second spot. They're doing a great job staying together. They're doing a great job fighting. Sure, toward the end, that staying together didn't work out. They split up badly. But WTSG, after one bad game, you can see how badly it turns out for them now.
That's right, out in 17th, WTSG, not the best of roads for them in that game at all. What kind of really went wrong for them, Avenger? Did you manage to catch what really went down on their side?
Well, I mean, I saw Larsen go down to Refund first of all in a position like that. He shouldn't have been out there. I feel like kind of off position. I'm not sure if he wanted to scout it or what he wanted to do. His teammates were on the back there, but of course we saw Refund in that position. They had the hill just south of Yasnaya, kind of goes out in a U-hill, we kind of call it. And then eventually they pushed in towards further in the zone. Welcome to Southjust, they managed to get that hill from them. Could have turned out completely different, but he pushed out alone, unfortunately, and the other 3 team members, they stayed on the hill and kind of tried to go in further from the west, and they came in very late, unfortunately.
Yeah, in this particular circle, it's always difficult pushing, especially through that area. You know there's going to be riddled with teams, even in 16-team lobbies. That particular spot just around the shelter area is very, very damaging. Now, Gaxi, I believe, might have done a little bit of a mistake there as Larsen fell down. Gaxi wanted to get the revenge kill against the enemies that killed his IGL. And in that doing so, he gave his position, which means that a lot of teams were able to concentrate fire on him. That left Vard in a bit of a difficult spot. He did have the circle for a few times, but because the circle was a bit open towards where he was, it was easily captured.
And I want to ask you about shelter finishes, because it's not something we really get to talk about too much with kind of the multi-tiered situation going on. Obviously, I have one member of Ghost Gaming all the way down there. How do you play out a shelter finish, especially if you're inside the shelter on that kind of multi-tiered finish? What are your thoughts?
I mean, around the shelter, you really got to see when it's a 50-50. When you see you have half of the circles in the shelter area, you're always going to have a lot of teams because, as you said, you can be inside, you can be on top. And when you see later circles come into that, you kind of breach onto it, get your cars onto the hill and kind of park them there. And then you also have a huge amount of a defensive area. You can stay behind there. But what I personally like is also to be kind of waiting until I see if the zone goes north, because then you have to cross in an open area. There's a lot of roads. And Liquid, they stayed there. They knew up in the north. They were only 3 teams in the north, and then the rest of the teams again in the south. So a lot of teams kind of colliding on top of each other, and that's also why OMG, they lost so many members.
Yeah, that's it. And in shelter, you always want to be the last one pushing out. It's such a difficult area. So playing from underneath, making sure that nobody's actually blocking you with a burnt down UAZ or any kind of vehicle is actually very important. Making sure that no one's actually taking your exit path. And then playing the last one, perhaps even playing the blue, even for a late circle, you want to be the last one coming out of shelters. And the Knights kind of attempted to do that. They were the last ones coming out of shelter. Unfortunately, they couldn't get better than second, but it's great. And the way they played, actually, Shelter was very good to me after 2 knocks from Ibiza and then 3 knocks before. They rezzed 5 times in that position only. So the shelter area, the Knights, are really good at that.
A lot of spots showing up for Liquid as well as our Chinese fans here. And one team from the Chinese region that we didn't talk too much about, but got themselves 10 kills during that game, was 4 Angry Men. They were really popping off during that game.
I mean, they popped up a lot. I mean, they positioned again. They came in from the south, kind of somewhat late in a good position, and they could kind of collide until on the back. That's what you see. They third party. They came in the back to make sure they could get a lot of kills there, and a good positioning from them as well.
Third partying indeed seems to be the way to go.
Yep, seems that way, seems that way. A couple of our teams came in late towards the circles. We had Xanadu, we had Chiefs, AHQ, and Na'Vi. Na'Vi not having the easiest of games there as well, so a bit rough for them, considering they were so high up on the table in day 1.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a killer of a game for them. They're not going to be feeling well after this one. It's all about how they come back, though. They're Russian boys. They're strong gentlemen. You know, they got the big pants on them, so I'm pretty sure they're not going to be too affected by this one, and they will come back strong. I do believe them. This was a bit of a difficult rotation. They stopped by the hill that they normally stop to on these type of circles, and then following later into the circle, they were welcomed by a lot of teams. So a tough transition. Perhaps they can learn from this.
I mean, honestly, I want to see some of these more where you think about where the circle and where the push on the zone. Here we go. Where you see where the zone is going, you you stay on the edge until you see if the zone hard shrinks, because then you know the majority of the players and the teams that are going to be on that zone trying to get in the close side. I want to see some more of these hooks, like we see from Liquid. I mean, honestly, in the future, it's going to be the new meta that you try to get on around. We only see a few teams do it now. We see FaZe do it, we see OMG do it, we see Liquid do it. And and Gold do it as well. So there's only a small amount of teams that does it, and they succeed by far better.
Yeah. At the moment, it's going to be very hard to disprove that China is definitely #1 here at the moment. What do you think about the 2nd through 3rd, 4th positions at the moment? They do seem a little bit vulnerable. WTSG and Liquid very close to one another. Some other teams going to try and creep up on them.
Very, very important how they play these games throughout. It's anybody's game for that 2nd position right now. WTSG. They're definitely feeling a fire under their arses. They have to step up their game. They cannot allow Larssen to die first early into the rounds. This is what happened today for both of the matches there, and they have to snake their way through. Yesterday worked out, sure, they had good placements just by making sure they know how to path around and be unseen, but that doesn't always work out for you. You have to be 4-man strong.
Your thoughts, Avenger?
I mean, honestly, for me, welcome to South George. They actually recently changed the Incan leader to Ward because they wanted to release the potential of Larssen fracking out. So I want to see the more secure play, but making sure that they stay together as a 4. It's so important for me. Yes, they do use Larssen a bit more as a scout now, but I kind of feel like I want to see them together until later stages of the game so they can stay together as 4, because when they stay together as 4, they make sure they can frag out, actually. And because the way they kind of communicate as a 2-2 duo, it's so much better because they can flank together, they can make sure that there's third-partying at a much higher level.
There you go, Refund Gaming fans. Beautiful to watch them.
I have one hoodie in game, one hoodie, and it's Refund Gaming's hoodie.
Nice. So
that's the one hoodie I have. Absolutely not. It's mine forever now. Well done, Refund Gaming, for that previous win. Something we do have to bring up, of course, and there is no denying it here. OMG firmly at the top of the table. Very, very high likelihood they're going to be able to take it all home here. But overall, I think we both want, everybody here, I think we want to see them continue to put on those massive performances. We want to see them push to the very top and get themselves more and more points, and especially seeing Lion KK and Zhao Hai especially getting even more kills.
I mean, I want to see them do a world record right here. It's a world championship. This got to be a record-breaking games. It's already been record game. I mean, we're talking
day 1.
30+ kills already. Then nobody's going to catch Lion KK. It's undeniable. He's going to be the MVP on the kills. You can't. It's not going to happen unless we talk 2 games in a row with 10 kills, and it's not going to happen. But what I like to see as well, I like to see the other guys fight for 2nd, fight for 3rd, fight for 4th, because we're talking a lot of money here. But with Gold taking and Refund Gaming taking the 2 first wins, they doubled their points. They're also getting into the top 8, making sure that they get more money. So everybody's fighting to make sure they get more money at this point.
And that's important because every 4 spots you're able to move up in the standings, you're effectively doubling your money up until the point where it gets like through the 6th and onwards, and then things really start ramping up. So there's still a lot to play for here.
If Gold do the same as they did in TPP and they come strong the 2nd day, of course the 2nd place is definitely a potential for themselves. They have to continue with the smart rotations that they had in TPP and do that little golden dance that they normally do, and this time do it better. And when they breach into the circle, they have to make sure that they hook it right.
Absolutely. Who else stood out for you for Refund Gaming? Obviously, I was highlighting someone like Funky M there, being able to take a good angle. But when you saw the kills coming in from them, they got 9 kills overall in that round.
For me, Mio is one of their top fraggers and best players. I like his aggressive playstyle. We've seen it in the regional qualifier as well. Some nice kills with the Grossa, aggressive movement and nice pushes. He kind of likes to control the circles and like to push in.
That's a great thing. For me, it's Mixi, and I don't know what Mixi told the boys today or how he trained them last night either, but it does look like he's doing a great job here. Refund Gaming are able to show up real nice and cool.
Yeah, Mixi effectively almost their 5th member for Refund Gaming. We actually started playing in the Charity Showdown, and it's, overall having more minds than just the 4 alone really helps on out. But thank you very much, gentlemen, as we are ready to go. It's our penultimate game, the 2nd last game here of PGI 2018. Let's head over to the commentary team.
You know, it's almost sad that it's about to be over, but it's a beautiful time because now everyone has nothing to lose. Jump in there, find as many kills as you possibly can and make the last run for the top 3 positions. Still a lot of money, even if you can't claim #1. That may belong to China, but everything else is still up for grabs.
Well, it looks like that spot for #2 and #3 is very contested right now. WTSG Liquid, and everyone's coming up behind them right now. So Toby, this is a situation where these guys really are playing for pride, trying to get into that top 5 position. You just heard Martin say it. There's still a lot of money at stake. And for these guys, it's all about the competition. Liquid had an opportunity to make something happen last game. I would have liked to see, again, Martin mentioned this on the analyst desk as well, that when Ibiza hit that nade, that they come up, collapse on his position, give him a little bit of support, but they had lots going on, lots to manage. So for Liquid, they have some momentum, they have the ability. Can they climb into that 2nd or 3rd spot?
Yeah, it's that beautiful time when you can sit there as an observer and see everything that's playing out around. It's like, you can push this, you can go for this is the opportunity, and it just doesn't happen. And they don't know it, they don't know what we know. But we are watching the entire drop already done. The circle has been planted, and we are pretty well northwest. The river will cut this circle in half.
Liquid actually hanging on to that 3rd spot right now. They do have a bit of a gap behind them. About 400 points separate them for 4th place. So now it's trying to catch WTSG.
Yep, that's only 180
yeah,
difference.
That's not a lot to do really. So for WTSG and even for OMG, who's had such a great, amazing, world-class tournament so far, they do have the ability to clinch this very easily in this game, but it's not over yet. WTSG, we've seen yesterday, OMG got 800 points in 1 round, and that's for a 20-kill win. So WTSG has their work cut out for them. Hey, we'll see if they can do it.
That was their last round of yesterday. That's why you never want to count anybody out. But yeah, 800 points, sure. OMG get last position. They just run themselves over with cars, and anything is going to be possible in this game.
Relax, go out for a smoke maybe, you know.
That's all we can hope for, at least. But with this northern circle, not a lot of teams are already in established positions. This is going to be that interesting contest as well that's going to happen around Pollyanna. Team Liquid are not alone over there. And there's going to be a lot of congestion coming in through the eastern side. Again, I feel like we had this very similar circle yesterday, and the bridge points became the real critical points for contesting.
And really, that's all about map control in this circle, where you can grab onto one of those many important compounds. You can already see a couple of teams headed center trying to get that scout position early. Avangard's already done so. But yes, grabbing onto a choke point, using that map control around the river is very important to make sure that you don't have a ton of enemies flooding around you in the mid game.
Yep.
And for all of these guys, especially if you're coming out of Yasnaya, you want to try and grab a center spot early. But for Liquid, they have a long loot phase ahead of them. They want to be as ready as possible. They want to be ready to defend all those coming for that 3rd position.
Yeah, these loot phases actually appear to be really easy for all teams. We had no one run over by early vehicles. We've had no teams really drop right on top of each other. Everyone's spaced out. As always, South George is a little bit more clustered than normal, but it's not any team looking for the blood just yet. It's all going to be about the choke points and the movement up. And you're actually getting your first little bit of fire coming in as Myth make their way over the bridge for the first time.
OMG opting for the split strategy. Gold holding on to this Novo region. We've been seeing them there all tournament long. They have lots of opportunity to get lots of loot, but for OMG, they're holding on to a split strategy around the southern portion of the main island. They do have to get through Ghost and Pachinki, but we haven't seen OMG taking too much pressure in rotation, and that's been very important for them, translating that success into the mid and late game.
Yep. Liquid's actually making their movement out too. They're leaving Pollyanna to 4 a.m. Probably going to take those buildings on the hillside that they've taken previously. Right now, that northeastern circle is very, very barren.
Knights having a decent showing, currently 5th place. They do have the opportunity here to jump up into that 2nd or 3rd spot with a good couple of games. We've seen flashes from them. Really good ability coming out of Krema. He's got 11 kills, top ranking on his team, followed by Voxic. And I think that for the Knights, they definitely have that ability to make these last 2 games huge for themselves if they manage to use that utility and hit rotations precisely without losing anybody.
Yeah, hey, you got confidence from the last round, right? Like, you still made it into the top 3. You were still looking to battle it out to the very, very end. Yeah, the numbers weren't in your favor, but it's a new game. They got 4 players up, and they want to try and keep it that way as long as they possibly can. Looks like Liquid actually went a little bit deeper in. They went to the southern side of the shooting range, which is just up on the hill. And this brings them quite close over towards Myth, who already did their early rotations. And this is that congestion I was talking about. There's not that many great compounds up there. And it looks like Myth as well as AVG have already claimed both of the 2 critical ones in the middle of the circle.
Not surprised to see Liquid centering early. It's a conservative strategy. They're trying to hold on to their position on the leaderboard. And now they find themselves kind of surrounded with Myth, but it's not too big of a worry. It looks like they have at least a little bit of a setup here. They have all men on deck. And for Myth, they haven't been having a great time in team fights, and going up against Liquid would be pretty difficult this early.
Yeah. Savage got their long run. They're going to be staying around Milta for a while. They are still looking to get themselves better on the board. 3 kills against all of their players for a ranked 19. It's a Savage position in the group, you could say.
Tough. That's very tough for them. 19th spot, 3 kills. Not a lot going on for them, but now it's OMG in transition. Zhao Hai is trying to sneak past Sexy Pig.
Yeah, if Sexy Pig can connect on that one, then a lot of these teams will start to actually breathe a sigh of hope that OMG will be in trouble. Those early kills make it difficult for OMG to do this 2-2 split that they've been so good at. It's actually, and WTSG are in as well.
Looks like a 3-1 for now. That is a scout maneuver for Zhao Hai, trying to grab a center spot. Trying to get north of this river is going to be very important. Looks like teams are going to be banking on it not coming south again. So if it does shift south once again, it's going to be hard to get across those choke points more than once. They want to avoid that.
WTSG, they're under siege. AHQ have already come over, and they're going to try and take out the hill. Rather difficult when Gaxi's got the line. Not just getting the knock, but getting the kill onto M4.
Nice pick up there early for Gaxi. Looks like he's got more along this ridge line. Vard and Miracu there to support. Gaxi doesn't have any line of sight on them currently, but it looks like AHQ is going to want to back this off and not take any more casualties this early.
Yeah, they'll take a couple of shots, but they will get away. At the same time, you had Myth and Team Liquid engaging themselves. Yeah, that's great craftsmanship is what that is.
It's a really well-built fence.
So this is that Myth situation. Rather difficult to hold that compound, mainly because you've just got this huge hill right behind you, and that's what Liquid are trying to make the most of. But once the knock does come,
Myth is separated as well.
Liquid will have to push it to get him down.
Myth is separated, so it looks like if they do want to put pressure on it, they definitely can. Pure Boy taking a shot there, jumping back. AHQ still trying to find a home. They're going to duck away from CGX.
Yeah, already on the run. Actually, they're getting out for the moment, so Pure Boy with the mini. I don't know if he saw it through the foliage. He's got some personal connection with that car, coming back to check and see if it's okay every couple of seconds. But AHQ with their 1 player down don't really want to get into huge engagements. 1 pickoffs, the scouts, they'll be fine with this. Knights are making their rotation, so that northeast of the circle I said was clear before. No longer clear. 4AM's already bailed out of Pollyanna too. CGW will be a little bit late in, but they are still inside the circle where they are.
OMG opting for a long rotation around the outside, taking the Georgia Pole Bridge going south and north. That'll avoid that congestion in the center. OHM under pressure early.
He is just 1 player. TMH surrounded by gates. He goes inside the house and, well, Mortify knows exactly where he is, and Exco, he'll get the knock and the kill. TG take the compound.
That center area now starting to get very dense with players. Most everyone has made their way across the river. Na'Vi actually getting intermingled with OMG in rotation, not opting to stop. I think OMG is going to take a little bit extra time to loot, maybe grab some of those extra meds, extra grenades they've been wanting. It looks like Knights have a line of sight on CPT.
The extra forces are coming in right past CPT. Drove straight past him.
1 more shot and he'll go down. Luckily, he'll be able to get away.
Texas can't connect. CPT goes to the compound that Liquid were able to hold up yesterday. Speaking of Liquid, Texas getting knocked in Knight style. Texas with that scout roll, getting picked and dropped.
Liquid has the high ground on them. The Knights do have a decent compound, but they didn't lose. They didn't get there unscathed. Looks like Ibiza is going to back this off. Liquid, again, just more concerned about map control, trying to hold on to their center spot. They know that there's going to be a lot coming center. They have the shooting range hill relatively sewn up, but the Knights have this low ground position. They have the ridge to work with, and they're just going to let Texas go for this round.
Yep. As long as no one can reach him with their bullets, and that's a very, very long way. Even on the map, you don't see the line reaching the entire distance.
We've seen that a lot from Texas going down early. He did go down in the tunnels last game. That did kind of break it open. I thought that the Knights would maybe want to pressure OMG from below. Difficult maneuver to make, but if it's anyone to do it, it would be the Knights. But Texas going down this early doesn't really leave them with a lot of options, and they are already on the defensive, still 77 alive.
I feel like he's like the canary. You put down the tunnel. It's like, okay, has the gas arrived just yet? Texas is dead.
Texas is dead.
Don't go. This is not a safe place to be.
That's actually a great example. I love that.
It looks like OMG have taken over Georgia Pole now. Na'Vi, they've taken a little bit further to the eastern row, closer towards the crates.
OMG is actually, one thing I've noticed is they extend their loot phase, and you have 1 player holding a choke on the north side of the bridge while the rest are kind of trash looting in South George by themselves. OMG is going to pile up those nades, pile up those meds, carry as much as they can into the late game. OMG's been so good at following up on their kills with grenades. They do a ton of grenade damage, some of the highest in this tournament. They have Savage coming along behind them. It looks like Savage is going to go completely conservative, hold on to the edge at the very bottom by Gatka, way away from the rest of these teams.
Yeah, they may hope for a bit of a back flank into the rear of OMG, but as you said, like OMG, they wait a long time and they don't get involved in the fights until there's like 16 teams left. At which point you just start burning all of your utility, having the nades come out, and that's why they're probably getting in so much damage, because it's only happening when there's a cluster of teams all in the one area. Everyone's within reach of the throw or those medium range bullets.
They play a 3-1 position. It's been very interesting to watch them play in team fights where they have 3 of their members shooting and engaging in team fights with 1 on flank defense, and as soon as they see a flank coming their way, they all collapse on top of each other and completely avoid any getting separated that you can see from other teams happening. We are going to stay relatively centered in the circle. The northern portion of the play zone is going to be all along the northern side of the map, so that river is still playing a factor, but it looks like now teams are going to want to try and condense a little bit more into the shooting range area.
Yeah, this still looks a little nicer to take, as you said, like that northern side. You've got more hill zones to play with, and even if you are pushed towards the south, you should still have the high ground.
So many players alive here still. Not a lot of the early game action we've seen in other rounds. With 20 teams alive, 77 still remaining, there is a lot happening on the map, and the longer these players stay alive, the harder the next transition is going to be. Team Gates and WTSG both moving directly for center. Looks like WTSG is going to want to grab that spot, but use liquid
Alex,
use.
time to open up, just let it rip. Aries, does he hit connect? No, he does not. he's got the DP, so they are the car killers.
Trying to grab this kill.
Actually, they got the knock.
Aries is down. That's actually Genji Black with the initial, and then he will finish. And it looks like the Chiefs are getting pressure and rotation from Ghost, who have the Ruins area relatively secured. And they are also playing 3-1 with Balak on the north side.
Sexy pick. More time. Savage, they're the ones that rolled through. They decided to take the eastern road. Not going through Georgia Paul. 4AM also have a player being knocked. Sexy pick. Can he connect? And well, yeah, he does. Knock on down in the protection of the hut. Not quite. Gets around the back of the broken car instead.
Savage looking they want to try and support their down teammate.
Oh, this does not look possible.
Yeah, he just can't do it. There's no way to get across there without exposing that head and upper body.
You need to actually burn 2 smokes, and then you only cover 1 of the line of fires.
I think I would have probably just given up on that one. Getting that res is going to be very difficult. Minoru just dodging a grenade. Looks like Mossy got the pan out. He's ready to go.
He's got the second grenade out. If he hits the corner on the left, this is going to be absolutely perfect. Well, there's the bike run in, so yeah, looking for the pickup on Savage. Looks like that second nade didn't connect.
Valiant effort, but this is how you can find yourself in additional trouble. The res will come out, but
Mossy.
Now what?
There's Mossy's second nade, so Minoru actually does get knocked again, even after his healing. Yeah, stuck up on the hill. Cello's going to push it through. So Myth losing Honboya. And this is, remember that split Myth. They're 2 and 2, so they're trying to hold onto multiple compounds. And Minoru, okay, Mr. Yoppie from far away gets a shot through the window.
That
so
sucks
Gates doesn't even get the kill on him.
Unfortunate kill steal there, but it looks like Team Gates will grab control of the compound. Meanwhile, it's OMG under fire.
And this is exactly what the Knights want to have. OMG in vehicles, trying to hide on the northern side of the circle. You know they're going to encroach. But then again, the Knights are not alone where they are. OMG will take the compound. But you see more support coming in, and OMG are trying to take 2 fights at the same time.
This is a smart rotation for OMG. They've managed to get all the way around the northern side. They have that coastal region to themselves, only the Knights that can see them, and they have this compound to hold on to as well, so a lucky pickup. But now, this edge strategy, if the circle shifts again, which it will do very shortly, it might force them off that position and into the Knights.
Oh, OHM, they are in the worst spot. They are trapped inside of a shack. Colorist is not only knocked, but also brought down. And Funky M preparing the nade. He'd have to hit it perfectly in the window, but it won't happen. It's just out the front instead.
Oh, nice
breaks
pressure.
The door, and now using it to flank around the side. The grenade's off target, but there's 2 players in close for refund. And this shall be a shooting shack at the moment.
Really nice push.
Knocked, killed, and 1 more to go inside.
Refund did very well to use those grenades to force them out and around that shack. Now the smokes have come out, the defense is there, but all they need to do is wait, pop grenades in this thing. They're going to hear that cook. I imagine Playero wants to jump out. The nade bounced out! The nade bounced out!
Oh, it almost hit him. And Polis made the chance to run out, but it will not be enough. DJ Chip sitting on the tree to the east, able to claim the shot.
That is
as the circle moves once again.
That's an unlucky bounce, but that doesn't do any damage. But now OMG already moving in rotation. The circle has revealed itself. It's centered on Team Gates as well as WTSG. Avangar holding a lot of map control here, spread out as well. Liquid is now going to receive pressure from both CGW and the remnants of Team Gates. Avangar stands between them, but this is going to be a difficult rotation for OMG. Xiaohai already scouting, finding a spot on the edge of the zone.
Yep.
The Knights in movement.
But they're coming right next to WTSG. He got AHQ in the middle with a +2 inside the car. Yeah, Eska, that's a steep hill, but it's an easy trip down at least. Especially now the Chiefs have moved off the mountain.
I love the way OMG sends the scout out. They see if there's any pressure anywhere else, and if they can hear shots, you can see Xiaohai now already on the move. Can't find a seam there to get in. They're playing very carefully. They do not want to take any unnecessary casualties, but there's no good spot for them to get in, so they might just want to ride the circle in, come in late.
Yeah, because Chiefs try to rush it in quickly, but it's all about Genji Black, who have already just held up the apartments. So there's no way to get through that southern bridge. Even Ghost will have a hard time. They're going to become swimmers at this point.
Oh,
and now Xiaohai, Funky M, he needs to actually get the knock on him. Xiaohai around the corner and into the shooting range, but maybe not where he wants to go. The bike, it almost explodes Miyu. Xiaohai will die. Refund DJ Chip taking the kill and bringing down one of the number ones.
The rest of OMG have now stopped. They have lost their scout. Now they have to decide how they want to get in. They have HQ to their direct south. Refund has the shooting range. If they rotate the other direction, they'll run into CGX or WTSG. This is going to be a difficult rotation phase for OMG because all those teams have come north of the river. There's nowhere to move, and look at this. It's Mortify hiding in the grass.
Just waiting it out. He's got some good eyes on Knights, but of course it's 3-on-1. He needs the rest of his team to come, but Mossy and Chillo, they're busy with AVG. And Mossy, okay, yeah, they both saw each other, but Chillo's not replying. In fact, he's just continuing his run now. Keen starts to open up onto Mossy, and you're seeing that line of fire. They cannot get down the hill easily. Keen, just with that line, Mossy has to go to ground.
Nice spread here from AVG. They've got them completely split out. Silo can't help Mossy. Anuktiv looking to see if he can grab that kill. There's no cover for Mossy. He has to run completely away. This is Team Gates' issue. They keep finding themselves in team fights, but they don't have the ability to play together. That firepower not doing anything. Even if they get downs, they get stolen by other teams because they just can't follow up.
Yep. Diaz and Keen have gone so quick on this flank, so Chillo can start his fire. Mumino in close, but there goes Chillo. It's just a close range. It was from up further on the hill, so they'll knock out Chillo and Mossy. All he can do is just wait and hide.
This is not the game that Team Gates wants to be playing here. Now it's up to Mossy. He knows where his teammate just went down, but there's no ability to trade. There's nothing really gained by taking that fight, so he's just going to have to hide there. Meanwhile, the Knights have taken a nice center spot. OMG are now on foot, walking into the zone. They can't use their vehicles anymore because it's just too dangerous, but they will just sneak in on that northwestern side. But there are still 64 alive here going into minute 19.
64 alive, and they've got to walk uphill from that position. This is where OMG, yes, they were able to capitalize beautifully, sitting in where CGX's spot is. And, well, they mowed down, I think it was Black who were coming in from the northwest during that round. And now it's OMG in the tight spot. They're actually surrounded by 3 squads. And WTSG in a great position on the north side. They're the ones that control the crash. Everyone else must come in.
WTSG completely zoning 2 teams right now, CGX and OMG. They have that very important plane crash spot. And look at this, 4 AM and Refund sharing a bit of territory. It looks like Refund knows that there might be someone above them, but they don't have a lot of flexibility here. That shooting range area is very dense with players, but the Knights have a great spot. Avangar now moving with 4 right on top of them. And just like that, Honey Badger Nation is going to be the first to try and vehicle rotate, and they're not looking very good. Neither is Myth on the way through.
Yeah, they kind of got themselves trapped now. They don't have the numbers to be strong enough to push on through. That position didn't pay off for them as Dre just ripping into Mumino.
Wow.
So AVG, he's a long way away. So this nice split that normally gives AVG the angles goes against them, and Mumino will be put down all the way.
Genji Gold making a very mad dash through two teams.
They're going into honey badges.
Yeah, they can see there's actually 3 around them, but it looks like there's pressure mounting in all directions. It's going to be Genji Gold going at Honey Badger Nation. David taking a lot of damage. Behind them, Na'Vi ripping into CGX.
Gold at least got inside the circle, so not pressure to push up the hill just yet. As OMG, Xian Blue didn't see Lion K or Silent BT.
Rotating down the hill, they do have another flanker there as well. So it looks like they're going to send one out. They don't have the ability to do 3 and 1, so 2 and 1 is going to be the option. Rio landing a nice headshot.
This is problematic for him, as looks like the orb going to work. God V gets dropped down, so Liquid also gets something onto the board. Grenades, it's a long throw. Could be a good one.
That
Down,
looks okay.
around
That
the
looks
rock,
all right.
and 1 and 2.
Ooh, that was close.
Yeah, Pure Boy and Rio, they stay alive. But they are in a rough position. Maybe if they can get the knock onto Xiaorong, they can clean up their line, and Pure Boy's looking for it. But Xiaorong behind the rock. And,
way out of cover.
Yeah. I think he's trying to see around the smoke, but here comes the shots from up on the hill. Lion K having to prone on down, but these angles are just so good. Even with OMG losing that early player,
awesome.
they have got CGX locked in and, well, basically having the number punch.
So
Grenades
aggressive. Look
fly
at the molly.
forward. Is the Molotov as well, and the follow-up grenade. These guys, they're awesome. They're great. They're gods.
I cannot believe how poised they are in team fights. The way they execute that, they took a ton of damage, but they executed the strategy. They put Silent in the mid ground. They put Xiaorong on Lion KK on the top, and Xiaorong pressed right on top of them, and they could not deal with that. CGX had no chance there, even with the advantage.
It looks like AHQ, at least maybe they have a chance. Lion K a little bit further away from the rest of his teammates who are currently looting, I assume, is more meds as well as some ammunition.
Well, they take the strength of their enemies every time they take them down. They grab their ammo, they grab the meds, they grab the utilities. OMG is rolling through this.
Does he see Lion K? Wason look down to the side. He sees Xiaorong on the run, but they're taking bullets from Na'Vi. So AHQ not really find the right line until now. It's Lion King. Can he hit it?
No!
Hit it!
Here comes the follow-up. Lion K is down. AHQ, even though they did lose one in the initial trade, they did take down Lion K, who's finished off
by Na'Vi.
Yeah, that's a huge loss for OMG.
Yeah, these were the guys who are already making problems before for AHQ. They're the ones that stopped OMG from just getting totally wiped. There's only one player left standing.
Silent's down.
Now for OMG, as Silent does take that fall.
So Lion K is going to get the initial kill on the winner. He'll die in the zone. Now it's only Xiaorong.
And Na'Vi, look at him go. They surround him and suffocate OMG. 16th position for OMG.
This is great for WTSG.
Yep, they still got a decent amount of kills though, so there's still some points going to be chalked up on the board, but not from the positions.
You can hear the murmurs in the crowd, a little concern there with OMG going down so early. They still have a massive lead, but with WTSG still 4 strong and a decent rotation ahead of them, Team Liquid also looking very good. That 2 and 3 spot is very close, so for now it's about WTSG and Team Liquid trying to figure out this mid game.
Well, they're both trying to control the north. WTSG's got the northwest, Liquid has the northeast, but they don't really have the circle as such. Everyone has to come in, and that's where Refund is starting their own push. Maybe going around. Yunroot from Black, they're the ones battling on the south side. They finally cleaned up the remnants that was Savage.
The Knights here just trying to get some information. They have a decent spot, decent map control. Genji Gold is right there as well.
There goes Honey Badgers. They're out in 14th.
They would have heard those shots. So now the Knights are aware of the fact that Gold is so close to them. WTSG still using this plane crash to try and get into the woods, but they'll have to get through the Knights. They're on their flank. A couple of Team Gates guys there as well, but they're getting awfully close to Team Liquid.
Yeah, I think WTSG is going to be okay, at least with this position. I don't think they want to push it any further. Because if they do, as you said, they'll be on top of Liquid. They'll be on top of Team Gates. Do I dare say that, as Mortify's been there for a while now. But Gold, oh, actually as Myth, that will be removed in 12th position, and it will be Gold as well. I thought there was enough players going down there. They're out in 11th.
That alleviates a lot of pressure on the Knights. Now Na'Vi have a clear path into the zone. WTSG has Refund completely hemmed out. They're going to have to decide if they want to defend this, but if that happens, Liquid could rotate in that direction, but that southern edge of the zone is a lot clearer. It looks like Ghost have 4 up as well.
It's amazing just that coverage they got. Ghost are all together with those 4 players in the southeast. Is Miyogu really? Is there anything in that health bar?
They will get the kill, and they will finish off AHQ, but just like that, They have a path into the zone. Na'Vi rotating that way. That northern end is going to get very messy very quickly, but now look at this. It's WTSG and Liquid.
Larsson's putting down the smokes. He's trying to make sure that Liquid don't have a line of fire into WTSG. Instead, it's over towards the other side of the hill.
Larsson having thrown out. Liquid playing very closely knit here as a team, maybe learning from the last round. They are not going to split out here. They need to use all that firepower and point it in one direction. They did get the res onto Gaxi. Vard and Larsson now throwing out smokes, trying to get away from this pressure. This low bowl is an issue for them.
They have to come in now, refund. This is going to pincer in WTSG. Na'Vi, okay, maybe not. Funky M, they turn their attention towards Na'Vi. They'll get 3 inside the circle. Now make it 4.
Look at this. It's like a 4-way team fight. Liquid dealing with WTSG, but there's more to come. Refund does go down. That's Miracu picking up a kill.
Liquid have such a great line. With that position on the hill, they see down everything the light touches belongs to them.
Uba moving around. He's got a couple of kills, 8 total so far.
Gaxi, not what he want to have happen. Pino will be dropped, and there goes Refund out of the competition in 8.
Liquid's doing a lot of damage to WTSG, who's now finding themselves in a pinching situation. Gaxi down again.
So quick.
Yeah, he's going to go out here. There's nothing they can do. Now still 3 up, and now they have Na'Vi pushing.
And Na'Vi is on the way. The grenades keep flying. Molodoy able to knock out Miracu. That one looks a little short from Vard. He's got a second one ready. He gets the nade off before he'll get knocked.
WTSG is in a huge amount of trouble. Na'Vi taking them down.
Not what they needed to have happen. They were sitting in second position at the start of this round. 5 kills is what they've claimed. But does WTSG always do this? There was one player left alive. This time it's Larsson.
WTSG needs to hold on to this. Looks like Liquid is going to take the advantage in this round. Still 4 strong, 7 kills. Not a lot of downs happening on them just yet. They have the meds, they have the ammo. Now, do they have the ability to translate this into endgame success? Na'Vi backing away, rotating against South into the zone. Now, just like that, Dre, the last man standing for the Knights, has to defend against a full 4-strong Na'Vi.
Yeah, that's good luck is the best thing you could say at that point. He's taking fire from a low away, so he's going to grab the UAZ and try and get out, but a Sexy Pig with the number. That car's starting to smoke up into Na'Vi, but it's Yunroot will be the man to get the kill for Genji Black.
Tough call there for Dre, having to use that US to move away, but Genji Black also moving through the zone. There's actually a lot of teams with a lot of strength here. Avangar holding a split in the center and on the edge, but now the Na'Vi is going at Sexy Pig, and he will get the first one down.
That's what you need to have the cover, at least some suppressing fire, and that's what Na'Vi will do. Smokes out, take away the vision that is there for Black, and they're pushing with 2 while they try and res with the other.
Esther holding the flank defense on the low side. Grammatic on the high side. The res does come out very quickly there. Nice team play from Genji Black.
Good from Na'Vi too. They get the pick up themselves, use the smoke to try and cover their right flank, and then they back off to the left, and that's where most of the grenades were actually flying from Black to the other side, but now they've worked it out. Molodoy, 1 to hit, the second to finish. No, the range is too far.
Very close. Lots of pressure coming on Na'Vi. And now it looks like Genji Black going on the offensive. They want to take this to Na'Vi.
Through the smoke is dangerous, maybe close enough for a couple of grenades, but they're doing it blindly. They don't know any of the positions of Na'Vi. We've had a fantastic round. That's 10 kills on the counter.
I'm surprised to see Na'Vi backing off this fight. They might not want to take the low ground position. The circle's at their back. They have to get into the zone.
They need a fantastic round is what they need. They need the kills as well as the zone position. Team Liquid, with their 3 players left alive, is Larsson. Enjoying, 4 players just walking over the hill. Wait for it. Wait for a long time. Scoom is looking the wrong way.
He can see all of them. He can see all of them.
Yep, but he has to crawl in a little bit further. The circle's going to start chunking him, and he'll have to stand up and then throw back down again. Does Scoom see it? Yeah, he does. Turns around. WTSG out in 6th position.
That could have been a disaster for Team Liquid. Oh my God, he saw all 4, and that's what players wait for. If you see a player snaking and he sees a player, if he only sees 1, he doesn't want to shoot because he doesn't know where the rest are. He saw all 4 Team Liquid players. That was a huge reprieve for Team Liquid, and they're going to continue in this game.
We are playing Defilade only. The circle has moved away from the compound, so AVG will have to come off the eastern side. No team is in there apart from Keen, and he's not really a team right now. He's a one-man show in that circle.
Na'Vi has a lot of kills here, but they're getting picked apart from Sexy Pig and the rest of Genji Black. Grammatic getting down Uba as well. They've already lost 1 player. This is great for Team Liquid, but Genji Black going full aggressive. Ilame in the prone position.
Wait for it, close range. Yunroot number 1 looking for Sexy Pig. He cannot finish the job, but Yunroot on the edge of the blue.
Wide open now for Liquid.
Yep, they're opening up. Na'Vi has been eliminated. They got wiped so quickly by Genji Black. And Liquid don't have the angle. Black is still under cover of the defilade.
8 kills now, still holding on.
So Avangar, they're the ones who will have to come out of the compound, but they have at least the hillside to work with, but it's Ghost who are opening up now.
Wow.
It is a massacre. There's still one kicking. They're trying to put them all down. As Ghost now up to 7 kills in this round. Unit will die to the circle. 4 teams up. Liquid now getting involved as well as Ghost revealed their own position.
Samty does go down. They do have Profi down in the blue, so they will likely secure that kill as well. So that's going to be 1-for-1 in the initial trade between Team Liquid and Ghost. Meanwhile, Avangar kind of on the edge now, getting pressure from Ibiza.
Yeah, they actually have a real hard time getting out of that compound. It is an open field. They'll get into the eastern side of the circle. But Liquid, they control the north, so much of it, but do they really? How much of that do you want to control? You don't have a great line of fire. Ghost get the rest of them in.
They're all coming to support Ibiza. They know that Avangar has not a lot of maneuverability.
Great line around the back of the tree, but he couldn't get the instant knock.
There's one on Anuktiv. Meanwhile, Sexy Big's been eliminated, and now one more down. Scoom also down. Ghost just like that, grabbing an advantage.
They got 2 standing. It's the same for both Ghost as well as Liquid. That grenade looking to finish off the rogue AVG player.
They got to finish it fast and help Scoom.
Perfect. Diaz is gone.
Nice looking nade. The initial med coming out. Scoom is only on his first down, so lots of flexibility there. Looks like Turtle also being rezzed. And just like that, we're back to a 3v3 with one player left.
Yeah, there's no way AVG are going to be able to res their east.
Liquid circle.
Only Keen left, and Ghost already know exactly where he is. They've been throwing nades down towards Keen, and they'll shoot him around the trees.
Nice.
And it's just down to Ghost and Liquid, the last 2 teams remaining. Both with 3 players. Everything's even Stevens.
Ghost has to come up this ridge. Liquid already starting to probe with smokes and grenades, trying to take away as much vision on the flanks. Balak is down, but they have grenades coming out now. I'm not sure if any of those are live.
Ibiza on the run. McCoy, Turtle, they all open up on him, but now it's James and Scoom coming in from the higher side. Balak is in the middle of the smoke. I thought it was Liquid who were the kings of the smoke.
He moved right past
the grenade first. Balak has actually done a complete flank in through the rear. Maybe not so great. There's going to be no more knockouts. No, James will be brought down. Scoom, he still can't see him. Balak is the king of the smoke.
3 now on 1. Scoom in the last position. Balak does get the med. He finds him.
Runs out the side, but it's all Balak. Perfect flank, and Ghost take number 1. In our second last round of the entire competition, 14 kills to their name as well.
You can see the Profi sign. That's his girlfriend there standing with it. So very happy with that round win. You can see the Ghost supporters there as well. That was all about that 4-strong push from the south of the play zone. They stayed around the ruins, and then they made ruinous work of all those players around them. But really, Liquid played an excellent game as well. But the story there is OMG going down in 16th place and allowing Liquid to gain just a little bit of ground on them.
It's kind of funny, like Liquid gained the ground, but you still worry about Welcome to South George. They ended in 6th position. They only got 5 kills. It's points, and it brings you a little bit closer, but the gap is still absolutely massive. But Ghost, they are just turning up a 3rd position in the last round, and now they're able to take a first, 6 kills in the previous, and now they're able to more than double that here in the second last round. And they'll at least be happy they're getting closer to that top 4 position, being in the prize money.
That's great for Ghost's mentality. They've not had the best tournament. They've been trying their best to get something going, and grabbing a win here in day number 2 of the first-person tournament has to feel good. Liquid with the number 2 has to feel almost a little disappointing, however, because they had Balak come all the way through the smoke, and it was just a little bit one after one. You can see here Balak with a tremendous flank onto James, and Scoom could not follow up, just like a ghost disappearing into the smoke.
Oh, and I thought I was the winner of bad puns. You have now taken the cake. But yes, Ghost, great positioning. Balak's going to enjoy that one, and I love it. Well, that's going to be it for this round, but of course there is one more to go to get our final placements for the first-person perspective. Who will it be to take 1 through 4 or all of the slots? We'll find out in just a bit. The grenade's off target, but there's 2 players in close for refund. And this should be a shooting shack at the moment. Really nice push. Corner and into the shooting range. Maybe not where he wants to go. The bike, it almost explodes BOU. And well, basically nicely having the number punch.
So
Grenade
aggressive.
fly
Look, the molly.
forward. It's the Molotov as well. And the follow-up grenade. These guys, they're awesome. Work with, but it's Ghost opening up now.
Wow.
It is a massacre. There's still one kicking. They're trying to put them all down.
In the last position, Balak does get the med. He finds him.
Runs out the side, but it's all Balak. Perfect flank, and Ghost take number one.
Just into this position from Slime Squad.
And he's not moving at all as Team Gates pops up. Like they're in a lot of trouble.
They're just trying to go for position. Nice shots coming up from the RJ.
Snap the pressure!
Oh my God! Where Click gets the kill and gets the win!
Friends in tow, but now that western side is going to be a bloodbath.
Knocked out the big man. He needs his teammate to step up. A sexy pig. They push up hard. You know those vehicles make so much noise. And Golda getting out. Navi's going to be there. Molodoi opens up. 1-2. They'll drop. Supports come in. And
Oh no, run!
He's got to get out of it. Mubido's trying to light him up too. 4 a.m. They're kind of like trapped in the corner.
And to the center. This is the last play zone.
Anyone got a grenade? Lion King's going to see him looking down. And OMG claim first position as China. A little bit. From two sides. Oh, it's a UAZ sandwich and AVG is the meat. And now we see Xiao Rong. Xiao Rong, which one does he want? And now right over the top, look at that! He'll still take one down. It is two teams. Xiao Rong goes for the kill, hitting into Texas, but he was outside in the blue. Knights, a huge round for the Pittsburgh Knights.
An eyebrow here in this game. And they've got a lot of room as well. They're controlling the vast majority of the northern side, but welcome South George turn their attention away from Na'Vi. Leans the corner, good shot from Samti. The nade goes up. Will he die? No! He stays alive, but the push comes in from OMG. Samti on the switch up. DP, he goes down. It's OMG!
How high, just waiting here. AKM in hand. How many more want to turn up? There's Turtle. Poppy as well. Will he fall down?
Xiaohai is playing so well right now. That's 2 huge kills. Silent. He smells blood in the water. And this surely is going to be the closing moment. It is! OMG!
It's as if for a brief moment, the Mercedes-Benz Arena became a shell because there's certainly a ferocious Ghost in it. Well played there by Ghost Gaming, able to take that #1 spot here and move a little bit further up the table, trying to grab themselves some very, very important points. Overall, 14 kills coming in for Ghost Gaming Avenger. A big, big win for them in day #2.
I mean, they said they didn't play their game yesterday. Today they definitely did.
Yep.
They started in 16th. They're now sharing 6th with Knights. So they're getting very close. They're getting into the big money now.
It was good to see them finally show up, indeed. It's been a while since we've seen the Ghost Gaming that we believe in, that a lot of people believe in as well. You have to remember, though, 2 of these guys weren't available to play the qualifiers, of course, the European gents. Had some visa issues, of course, those were sorted. And we were kind of wondering whether they're going to be back into it. It's not late to be back into it. It's still good to make a show. Of course, you got 10 grand for a chicken dinner, so that's going to be on top of everything else.
Absolutely, and overall, at the beginning of the day, we asked, you know, where's North America? Honey Badger was already up there quite nicely. Where were Team Gate and Ghost Gaming? Ghost Gaming answered in turn, 710 points being racked up for them in that win. Not only the 500 rank points, but 210 kill points with those 14 kills coming in. So a nice spot for them. And as much as we keep seeing Team Liquid in those top spots, trying to move up the positions, Gen G Black also there in 3rd place.
I mean, yeah, they're coming up here. They're wanting, I mean, this is just the proof of you still want to fight for the money. Yeah. The fight is not over yet. Yes, the first place might have been solidified now to maybe even cemented completely, but there's still a lot of money to fight for. And the further up the table you get, also for the future, of course, money, but also for the future tournaments, future anything. You want to prove yourself at this championship.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of teams even just qualifying for this alone have kind of proved themselves, but every little bit extra you can get is strong. Lion KK, ain't nobody catching up to that man when it comes to those kills. He is absolutely stomping this leaderboard.
Is it any kind of wonder that he's going to stay there for a long, long time? Xiaohai is the only one that comes anywhere close, but that's anywhere close is everywhere far. It's pretty much as far as China to Berlin. There's no chance for anybody to take Lion's share. He's up there for good reason.
Prowling. I think even if we had a day 3 of our FPP, I still don't know if anybody will catch up to that. That's crazy numbers, Avenger.
That's absolutely insane. Honestly, for me, he wasn't even that much on the radar until now. I've been talking about Uber, I've been talking about GemT, you know, one of the world's best players. Lion, he is the world's best player right now. I mean, 34 kills is undeniable at this type of stage.
And it's all about his team enabling him to get those frags as well. As you can see, they perform really, really well together.
Yeah, here is the current rankings going into the last game. 3,375 points. If Team Liquid to try and catch up, they would have to have a mammoth game.
Let's be real here. Right now, if OMG goes outside top 18 and Liquid has a 20 kill win, they can still do it.
In theory, yes.
In theory, it could happen.
But yeah, I'm looking more interested at the fight between Liquid and WTSG, of course. That's a competition in itself. Vanguard with the chance to come into it as well, Na'Vi. I'm not too sure if they're going to be able to climb up to the position of that top 3, but WTSG and Liquid, I think this is where the story goes.
And let's be honest, we have had those kind of crazy miracle runs almost occur in the past in PUBG. It's a monumental task for somebody to try and take it off OMG here, but we have seen kind of budding close locations to be able to kind of reach those spots. So Liquid, they've got a tall task ahead of them, Avenger, but they are a kind of star caliber team that could potentially do it.
Yeah, honestly, for me here, they played the game I wanted them to play today, completely different from yesterday.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm playing. Another point I want to make here, you can really see this is the FPP. You have the teams up there that you expected to have up there. You have all the three European rosters that have made it here, and both of the CIS rosters in the top 6. Of course, behind OMG, because, oh my god, what a performance they've had so far.
Absolutely.
There's something weird about the way that 4AM kind of got close to Liquid at the looting start there. Yasnaya Poliana for 4AM. Okay, that's unheard of. That's interesting. Do you think that's some sort of a Chinese pact that they've made there? It doesn't seem to bother Liquid too much. They left 4 strong from Yasnaya.
They used
no
to be
problem
contested
whatsoever.
Yeah.
But with 4AM showing up Yasnaya this late into the game, this has to be some sort of message.
So let's talk about how that game unfolded overall, of course. You know, we see teams like OMG going around up to that top northwest circle. Admittedly, each time we saw them win in day number 1, a lot of that was based off of them not really being contested up there. However, this time, it was very, very different.
You can really see how they move, how most of the teams they move. When you see the hard shifts, you saw it as well here with Ghost. They were in a position where they shifted north. They were in a perfect position compared to how they moved into the zone, and they played the game they wanted to execute. They play outside, they play aggressive, they were mobile, they kept their cars until later stages of the game. So they put themselves in positions where you can kind of come in on the less populated sides of the circles.
Yep.
We saw the west side there. The west side, extremely populated, but there's at least 8 teams there compared to how few teams there were on the eastern side.
Now, to be fair, they did try to send the scout Xiaohai. He was sent through the shooting range there, died at the hands of Refund Gaming. That was a gruesome death to be had, of course. So OMG realized, okay, maybe we can try the same thing that we've been trying yesterday in these similar circles, just to try and come in from the northwest area. They did have to go through CGW. That was really, really beautiful the way they did that. CGX, sorry. But after that one, they got third party by AHQ. And that was what was really detrimental, and it's really the thing that we said at the start of the day. Third partying is a very dangerous thing.
Yeah, for me, honestly, on top of that, we had Knights up there, we had Na'Vi up there, we had Liquid on top of that, we had Welcome to South Church. We're talking the top tier teams here, kind of gatekeeping them unintentionally, but it's because they came in so late. We would have seen them maybe in Knights' spot or Welcome to South Church's spot if they played as aggressive as they did yesterday. So they kind of turned down the clutch a little bit here, but they still want to be there, of course. But I want to see them keep fragging out. As you said, yeah, they've made this so far. We want to see some amazing performance like yesterday, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I think at this point in time, they have just breached past what we saw from Gold in terms of the TPP performance, in terms of points, of course. One thing I want to talk to you guys about is Na'Vi and Avangar, actually, who play those circles very often and are able to get themselves in great spots, and they managed to, again, very strong central positions going in some of those later circles.
What I liked about Na'Vi in particular this game is that they haven't rested onto the docks. We've seen this circle before yesterday. That circle, they've rested on docks. They noticed the circle go north. They had to swim their way through both of the rivers, which really was detrimental to them. They did make it safely so, but they didn't have any kind of circle strength into where they came from. This time around, though, they just waited north side of the Georgia Pole bridges, and then they were able to pierce into the white, to penetrate the white from a much better perspective. Yes, they had some difficult fights. It didn't seem like the team cohesion was there as it normally is, but I like the strategy coming out of Na'Vi for this day.
What do you think about our last game, guys? What are you expecting to see? It is the final game of PGI 2018 very soon. Avenger, I'm going to start with you. What are you expecting?
I mean, expectations is one thing. What I want to see, what I really want to see here is Welcome to South Church clutch it out. I want to see them frag out. I want to see them contest for that second spot, because right now, it looks like they're losing to Liquid. Liquid wants to take another silver pen home right now. I really want to see Welcome to South Church play their usual game, stay together, frag out.
Yeah, and I'll take a moment here to really appreciate all the teams that have made it here so far. Thousands of teams, as you said at Kyle Harris. This was no joke of a tournament. Really top-tier talent, and they've given us 4 days of amazing, amazing show. And a fifth one on top, of course, if you consider the charity stream. It's been a pleasure watching these gentlemen.
And that team on screen just before, Team Liquid, which we see some supporters for there as well, wasn't even supposed to truly be here at the very beginning of all of things. They did not qualify for the European qualifier, just slithered in after a disqualification and then got themselves first place and currently sat in second place. Here's Genji Black as well, though. And admittedly, a fourth place for them in the last game with 13 kills was a big play.
It's a big play, but also they're sitting in 11th currently. That also talks to how kind of rough run they've had here in FPP.
Sure.
Unfortunately, they didn't have a good day yesterday, but they haven't really had a good day today yet. I want to see them keep fragging. I want to see Esther frag out as you usually did in TPP as well.
Do you feel that kind of is a knock-on effect of everybody, like all the other regions seem to be adopting FPP just a little bit more? Do you think Korea lacks kind of a little bit in that at the moment? Or?
No, for sure they know that FPP is the way to go. They've been training hard on FPP, and so has the entire eastern region of the world. We are talking about teams loving FPP. Of course, some viewers in China in particular love watching TPP, but everybody pretty much knows that FPP is the way to go, and they pretty much agree that it is indeed the fairer of both of the game modes and a bit more competitive.
Valak, if you could stop staring in my direction. No? Oh, okay, sorry, all right then.
All right. Focus on the game.
We've seen plenty of them, though, throughout this tournament, of course, not only in the Charity Showdown, but also being able to pick up that win as well, and a lovely win for them. And I think Ghost Gaming, especially, when it comes to the 3 teams coming up from the North American region, wanted to perform well here on this stage.
I mean, yeah, of course they have to. But what I like to see as well, in North America, they actually showed up. I just thought about it. They're actually sitting in 7th and 8th. We said we wanted to see them show up. They've actually been in. They're contesting for the money still.
Yeah, they're getting in there. They have a chance, of course, it's anybody's game. But I think right now, the story that we have to go through is WTSG versus Liquid. Who's going to take that second spot? Is it going to be the same as it's been on TPP, or will it change up?
Shall I practice my Vietnamese? Ang you em. I think it's I love you in Vietnamese.
Are you sure it's what you said?
I'm pretty sure that's what I said. There you go. I practiced it a while back.
Don't look at the crowd for confirmation. They're looking disgusted at what you said right now.
No, they love it. Anyway, regardless of all of that, Windfall as well. Not had the easiest of times here, but it looks like the plane is in the sky here for the final time. Ladies and gentlemen, for one final time, are you ready?
Hell yes, of course we're ready. Round number 8. We are going to wrap everything up right now. Moses, who takes first, second, third, fourth, fifth?
I think it's at this point it's going to be a matter of a miracle for Liquid if they want to catch OMG. For now, it really looks like it's their game to lose. But right now, it's all about WTSG and Liquid, who are neck and neck.
Hey, anything is possible.
Anything
but
is possible.
You are right. Like OMG, like it would have to be a disaster level of like DJ Khaled to actually mess this up.
That would be a massive disaster.
It would be. But they are in a fantastic spot. But as you said, Liquid, WTSG, even a Vanguard are sort of in reach of them as well. But it's Liquid who have really been the true heroes of this day. 2 second positions. Each time they got it, it was 10 kills. It was 11 kills. They'll have to go big. Like, it'll be a insane comeback. First position and 25 kills, I believe, would actually get them first position. And that's basically saying, oh my God, we'll not get more than 15 points.
Yeah.
So it's a hard ask.
And there's really nothing happening around OMG right now. Honey Badger Nation in the relative area, but they had more Ghost players near them than OMG. OMG is going to grab those vehicles, try and get their loot strategy unfolded here, but it's looking like we're going to be heading all the way east.
Yep. And
that is going to be a mostly water circle to start this game off. So for OMG, they're going to be coming in on the stack side of the play zone.
Yeah, that's fantastic for Genji Gold. They can just loot Novo and then take a boat up towards the north. There's actually probably the least amount of pressure they've had as far as the circle goes in a very long time.
Just a matter of getting there and getting started. The Knights in the center position, starting their loot phase. Not a lot to hold on to just yet.
Quick. Come on, he's always been the man to survive for the Honey Badgers, and he's limping on 20% at the moment.
Silent is relatively close to some Honey Badger friends here, but looks like
they're coming over, actually. Honey Badgers are on the way, so Silent BT, Fast Rail is, come on, commit.
Maybe trying to pressure them off their loot spot. Silent only has that AK, no helmet. Maybe a level 1 vest, can't quite see there.
Yeah,
but,
it looks like it's either a level 1 or a level 3. Is definitely not 2. It's not the right color for a 2.
Either way, Silent BT is going to have to back this off. No vehicle to use. So his loot phase being disrupted by the pressuring Honey Badger Nation, who is headed in their direction.
Yes, welcome to South George. It's like, okay, it's AVG who are on the northern side of the circle, northern side of Georgia Pole.
A little concerned about the way Honey Badger Nation is motioning towards OMG here. I see that vehicle kind of scouting around. you have to wonder what the game plan is here, unless Honey Badger Nation is trying to get down to the military base. Looks like that is the case.
They're just looking, okay.
I was a little concerned. I was hoping that they were going to go try and throw some wasps in their party there. See
they're still roughly around the 6th position. They don't want to risk too much.
You know what they say about honey badgers?
They're very difficult to kill.
Yep. That's one of them. Yep.
It's pretty high up there.
So it looks like they're going to be headed down south, and for OMG, their loot phase going to be relatively easy. Liquid having some friends in Yasnaya with them.
This has been happening time and time again. 4 a.m. and just in the neighborhood. So yeah, goodbye Honey Badgers. Enjoy the military base. It's all yours. Careful when you go east, however. But they're definitely looking to improve their rank. 8th position for them. Wick, he's kind of been the ultimate fragger, the primary fragger, the real fragger for Honey Badgers Nation. 10 of them. He's hit double digits.
On the way down the military base.
Oh,
ooh, Team Gates.
Let's go. Careful. Svit can't actually get the last connection in.
It's all right. It's only an iron sight M16.
Only. Oh, that's a pun.
The most.
You're going to hold up your Sheldon sarcasm sign for that one.
It's harmless. It's like the Vector.
Oh. Style sliding up the hill. You only need 2 wheels to drive that thing. Looks like the rest of Myth are actually on the chase. I don't know if he's really got anything to fight with those Svit. You've got nothing in that information bar at the bottom. He's got a bullet called a Dacia.
The only weapon they might be able to use to affect this game around, unfortunately, for Myth.
Oh, we missed the roll. It was style 2-wheel driving, and they flipped it. But don't worry, there was a plan B in the form of Mortify. Texas making his run. As always, it just wouldn't be a game with Knights unless Texas was taking a little bit of fire early on. He's a little bit separated from the rest of his team.
Yikes.
Here comes Myth.
3 total kills still.
And yeah, bottom position for Myth. It has not been an enjoyable time, which is kind of a surprise. Like, they actually took the full Kalaris, jinx. He's like, you know what, Myth, they're going to take a full round. They're going to claim first position, is what he said before we went into first person. And they have snapped back hard.
Yeah, they showed him who's boss.
Yeah. He did also say that OMG was going to be really, really good. So we can get 50-50, all right?
That's true. I mean, for Myth, it's all jokes aside, it is still a good showing. They had a decent effort in the third-person environment. They actually had a good day on the charity tournament as well. But for this first-person tournament, it has not been good. And maybe a bit of pride left on the line for Myth. They have themselves a center position.
The chase is on. P for Potato has already got the little front advantage. Unfortunately, we're not playing racing cars at the moment. And because there's only one in each of these cars, no one's going to be shooting out the window at any time soon.
Big shout out to the Chiefs. They have played a fairly decent tournament through both portions, really representing their region well.
So we need some strayers, everyone. That's what it's about.
And I mean, honestly, we've seen them in good team fights. They've been good under composure, and considering they have no real direct line to the European leagues or otherwise, they've been playing very well.
Oh, looks like speaking of Chiefs, you're doing it. Critical taking a little bit of fire from Team Gates.
Uh-oh, Caster Curse on the way here.
Yeah, he's actually managed to find himself in the middle of the 2-2 split of Team Gates, and he'll have to go back to the warehouse to hide. Everyone else is starting to come in as Critical barely survives it. Don't get hit by the bike and he'll be all good. The circle is coming in, so everyone starts their constriction.
So the center position now getting very dense, that western side. Surprisingly sparse considering how many teams have crashed middle. They know that water is going to be adjusted out eventually. OHM opting for the far northern loot strategy at Kameshki. OMG now slowly making their way eastward behind that's HQ once again. Ghost Gaming on the southern side, but really eyes are on Liquid, who are getting a little bit of pressure from 4 a.m. coming out of Yasnaya.
Kind of want to see if anyone actually even holds up around the Milta area. This circle is a fair way north, and there's only one H team. It's that OHM, as you said, all the way up near Stalba. It's the dream for them, especially if they see the loot drop out in the ocean. Knights are the ones trying to hold on to the prison. That's more centered. Thanks to that early run, they were able to establish their position very early on.
Genji Gold hasn't made any movements out of Novo just yet, looking like they're trying to find vehicles still.
Tons of time.
Yeah, lots of time for them. not wanting to opt for the boats. They've all got land vehicles, something that's going to be important.
CGW running into the line of Profi. He hits the rail, however, needs to hit Mr. Yoppie. He hit him a couple of times, but not enough to drop him. So Ghost position being revealed and CGW in a 2-split.
Put that thing away. Put that thing away. There's more vehicles.
The K98
Yeah.
is what you're on about.
Well, I was expecting there to be another vehicle coming through, but for Profi...
How is he going to make the highlight reel unless he's able to shoot someone off a bike with a K98, all right?
He's trying to impress his girlfriend out in the crowd there, looking for some sweet headshots.
Looking for a Reddit clip, that's what he's looking for.
Ibiza, you don't want to be on that Reddit. That's...
Yes, you do. We love you. Don't hate us.
Ibiza on the way through. He's coming in the low side of that hill. OMG finding themselves in the
and Na'Vi actually passed them. They'll now be the most Western team in the game as Na'Vi will get into the circle and over towards farm at Liquid. This is not a great angle for them to try and find up into. I think they understand it as well. At least they're in cover from Knights on the hill. But as you can see, Kramer looking out the windows, he's keeping very, very close eyes on Samty.
SLR long shots coming out. Oh, Savage.
Wide ball, foul.
Avangar grabbing their compound, coasting into the garage, nice and easy. James actually did take a couple of those shots. Has to back it off. I believe that was coming over from Savage. So now these got to try not to burn too much meds and armor here. Only that level 1 vest can't last very long. So Liquid again looking for a spot to call home, trying to reposition here. Maybe back it off to the coastline, see what this first circle shift does look like.
I don't think they really want to go out that far, though. Like, if they go out to the coastline and this circle hits hard west, then it's going to get real close and real quick, like right it is for Eska on the run through. Shalator's going to make his way out as well. Looks like they actually had to flip he almost flipped the UAZ.
Eska did come to a halt there, though.
Yeah, he did. He's at 40% at the moment. So Kurad, one hit would do it. One hit. That's 4 misses. That'll work, though.
And there's an upside down
Pop the
Dacia.
tire. If you can pop the tire, at least you can slow him down.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, that range.
Gonna chase it? Okay.
Sure, you got 0 kills. Give her a crack.
Maybe going to Milta instead, just try and reposition across the way.
You may not like that, though.
What are you doing?
He's driving right in front of gold. If he drives far enough, he'll reach Na'Vi as well. And there's a new line coming in. It's going to be a couple of boats through the south side of Milta. OMG are keeping their run. He's the last, actually, he's almost the last ones outside the circle.
Krama getting some sun up on the roof here.
Best
Liquid
place to get a tan.
So it's a weird angle, but Liquid is actually at a very low, steep hill below them. So Krama doesn't actually have a direct line of sight. Ibiza can move down that ridge as well.
It's actually amazing how much cover they have there because their teammates were on the hill behind them to the north. Even though they've bounced off it a little bit, they should be aware if someone does take that hill.
If this water stays in, this is going to be a big problem for some of these teams who have all centered. We'll see if it shifts out early.
There's Na'Vi getting involved. Wick's going to drop, so Honey Badger Nation losing their critical player, their highest fragger. And the circle does go south, so everybody condense.
So the circle has shifted all the way south. This is going to mean a lot of pressure on that northern portion of the zone. And that's going to mean that all these guys are going to have to come all the way down into this very tight area around that prison, which is impassable, essentially. So now it's going to be a very tough spot. We might see the lumber camp in action here once again.
I think impossible is like, you just see the cluster of logos. There's no way you can make out exactly where everybody is. The only one I know is Genji Black at the very, very bottom of everything. And that's who they'll have to go through. Gates after 4 a.m. Luca, there's an explosion and he'll go down.
This is a nightmare for rotations. This circle is not going to leave any prisoners. Liquid has a tough spot. They're going to have to get rid of their vehicle very early.
Nice is almost about to get rid of one of their players by driving over the top, but Myth able to claim a kill.
The very rare.
Yeah, Rio is the man who's on the receiving end for CGX, and the rest of CGX now making their run. Pure Boy over the hills and into cover.
Escalucia now increasing his team's kill percentage by 33%. I think. Math? I don't know.
Looks like Genji Black around the bunkers is their position. Larson sees it. Larson doesn't want it. Knights will remember that position very well.
This is a good spot for them. They have the option to flex into the prison, keep people from rotate. Well, as I say that, CGX crashes in right next to them.
WTSG are able to get up as well on their eastern side. So Well, you thought you thought Genji Black was going to have a nice position, but now they're surrounded. They're at least inside the circle. That's the upside for them as Team Gates continue to gatekeep. Up CGX. Blue gets the run up, and he'll make it towards the prison. Bullets won't connect, but now Nice may want to look down. And I think there's someone lying in wait. It's Pure Boy who's already there.
I think that they're receiving pressure from across the other side of the ridge. That might be Team Gate shooting at them from across the way, but they've now allowed CGX in between them. However, the amount of teams that can get in and out of that prison is going to be fairly low. CGX banking on the interior prison. They are dead center. We've only seen one game in this tournament land around that prison area. But we'll see if that continues. Team Liquid still trying to find a way into the zone. Savage staying active on the coastline.
If it does end up around the, let's say the prison as well as the lumber mill area, Team Liquid will be very happy. That's where they got very lucky with the circles last time.
OMG holding strong, all by themselves on the edge of the play zone at the west. No pressure their way. They are 2-2 split, but very close to each other. Not looking for map control, just trying to basically play it safe.
Yep. It will be difficult to push to the east. So they'll have to go through both Black, WTST, and Na'Vi if they want to try and take anywhere up on the hillside.
If it shifts any further into the coastline, it's going to be an absolute bloodbath very early. We're only in minute 14. And that is going to be an issue if we shift a little further south inland.
Yep.
But the circle is encroaching once again.
There's 76 people alive, 20 teams, everyone still in the running for that first position as AVG try and take the road around the crates. A little bit harder to hold. A lot of position to shoot at him, including the Savage player who appears to be rock climbing.
Liquid would need to have killed probably 5 people already for this to be anywhere near an option for them to get into first place.
And they got tons of people on the field. there's another 72 people to kill.
Better get going. Every moment that OMG stays alive, the win slips further and further away. OMG was such a dominant lead here. They have a path, but it is laden with kills, and they need to start getting them early.
Yep, but they're waiting. OMG are very happy to sit this out. All they need is basically a top 10 position, and it pretty much ensures them first position.
Oh, that's the circle you don't want. That's a lot of water in play.
Yeah, that's still like 35, 40% water. Milta Powell, Lipovka, the rocks will be a critical area.
This is not going to be a good time for a lot of these teams. OMG now has to decide how they want to come in. Looks like they're going to opt for the beach.
They're going to go straight through Na'Vi.
Yeah, they're going to have to go through the beach, but there's just no real estate.
Na'Vi's so split, though, that they don't actually have the numbers. Like, Drainus and Moldoy are about to get back in their car. Profi just going ham. Straight down. This is style riding and looking for the run over. Profi. Well, he'll get knocked. Marimo will not only knock it, but he should finish the job.
Liquid is making a mad dash. That's a bold move, but they're going to have to capitalize on it.
Open up, open up. Now trying to bring him down. Lion K, he's been the key flanker for OMG. Down to 20%, but 20% is enough to stay up and driving.
Right into the bottom side of Ghost. Ghost hears them in transition as well. Liquid coming to a stop. They've got themselves a zone.
Santi's up real high. Xiao Hai trying to do his run.
Turtle
actually clipped him. So Xiao Hai knocked, the rest of the team is coming over. Silent goes into the middle. Remember, there's still 20 teams up and kicking. Silent BT, you are in the worst position. He's trapped behind the car. You'll get back into it. He needed to move it 2 hits. A third one will drop him. Turtle, can he actually single-handedly undo OMG?
Wow, that was very close for Silent. Barely making it in.
Anyone able to blow up that car? They know where he is. Silent's medding up quickly.
That was so close. Now the pressure coming in return. It's actually Genji Gold has a line as well. Just like that, OMG finds themselves hemmed into the rocks. They have no maneuverability.
That 2-2 split, and all the squads on the map are going against them. They'll leave Xiaorong behind. They'll at least be able to first aid up, but Gold have him well and truly pinged.
Oh, they got him down.
He has the line onto Xiaorong, being chipped away. Still 20 teams fighting. Vard will cop a bullet from the back. So he'll start to reposition too.
OMG moving now to the south of Liquid. They've just arrived. They've lost 2 players for sure. Now they only have 2 left. Xiaorong will be finished off. So that's Genji Gold getting that kill. And they have CGW to their west, or east rather, as well. So now OMG finds themselves basically stuck. WTSG on the rotation. This circle is going to cause havoc for all these teams.
That it is. That's why you're seeing the movement. I think it's Gates who's going all the way around the eastern side of Milta Power. But the circle is coming in. It'll reposition if it goes anywhere other than south. OMG are boned.
Yeah, it's really going to be tough. Teams have banked north or south once again, kind of like we see with the river. But so many going south, that means it's going to be a lot of pressure if it goes anywhere but that direction. I do think that OMG has a path here, but they continue to receive pressure, and they now know, CGW, that OMG is nearby.
Oh, WTSG, they're pushing on to Gold. Gaxy's looking for the line. Remember, it was Gold that was keeping OMG pinned, so they will have that moment as Gaxy looking around the corners, but he can't see anyone just yet. Sees him through the UAZ. The clip is up, but doesn't actually get the knock, and now the grenades come flying in. A quick finish. Both Eska and Simpson will both be finished off.
Really nice.
They don't want to make the run up high just yet. Cheliter is still adding suppressing fire.
That was a nice quick 1-2 down there. They do get the res onto Miracu as well. WTSG executing nicely, finding themselves a very small spot on the southwestern side of the play zone. OMG still receiving pressure. They are full turtle here. They cannot do anything other than play defensive, and we are going to see the circle shift again. North or south is the question, and we are headed south and center. All the water comes out.
OMG can stay in the rocks. We're phase 4, still 20 teams alive and kicking. As everyone's trading up positions, Gold are getting into their vehicles. They want to move up north as quick as they possibly can. Everyone else.
That's good for WTSG, just having to push the gap towards Ghost.
Well,
have a little bit
Gold
of to work
running
with.
into the Honey Badgers. Well, Big Grizzly and Fast Rail able to knock them out, and Gold will go out in 20th position. That's their last round, their last ditch effort to get a better position.
That looks like an okay nade.
Yeah, that looks long. It looks good. It looks right on top of Molodoy. 2 nades right on top of Ilame as well as Molodoy. They thought that was a good little crevice, and it kind of is. The rocks are up. The UAZs create a nice line.
This is a ton of grenades getting used early. Not a lot of effect here.
Yeah, CGW
that looks
just
all right.
Throw that far. Okay, maybe they can. Molodoy will hit it, but it's Jeems who's trying to get involved as well. Here comes the rest of Na'Vi. So Liquid have a line. Remember, they need to find a lot of kills to make that first position, or at least secure that second position.
Those nades are landing closer and closer.
That hit Ilame. He's going for the pick.
If they came out a little further, they would be exposing themselves to other fire, but it looks like they did have a path to use some grenades. Must be running low on that supply, but for OMG, they are stuck still playing fully defensive. Lion K and Silent holding on to those that rock outcropping. Liquid just a little further away. Can't push on them, but for OMG, they have a little bit of pressure coming their way in the way of WTSG.
Yep, everyone's trying to gain position on that eastern road as McCoy. Well, NG Black, they drop down into the middle of the lumberyard, and well, at least they've got cover on the wrong side of them. That at least is not a positive.
That's not a lot of movement there. They're going to have to throw some smokes out. Sexy Pig on the wide. But all the rest of his team kind of stuck. Esther going for the res. Grammatic having to just try and move around, throw some smokes out, get his team a path out of here.
Savage, they blocked himself in. He's trying to hold this little house, and it will now be taken over. He was the positional person to play for the later.
Na'Vi under a ton of pressure. Every knock and every kill, you can hear the Vietnamese fans just freaking out behind us.
Still crazy. Like, even if Lion K doesn't get another single kill, he's still got 510 kill points for
That's
today.
Insane. Lots of lots of fire trading between Avangar and looks like Liquid.
Yeah, it was Avangar who were the ones trying to hold that eastern road. They still kept 2 up on the hill. So it's not easy for Liquid just to roll in on top and find the easy angles.
Circle's moving now.
Miracu's going to get knocked out. So once again, Honey Badger Nation going to work. Making trouble for WTSG.
This is really hard for Genji Black to get out of here. Ghost has them completely sewn into the lumber camp.
Oh, Liquid are just not giving up. They'll blow up the UAZ. And Na'Vi, they'll be happy to sit where they are for now. They're still inside the circle. The blue is coming in. So OHM as well as Myth, they have to come in from the northern side.
Knights have them held in. CGX has no easy path. Myth has made their way in, but they're holding a split, looks like.
Yeah, Gates is even getting involved in that northern attack.
So not a lot of movement here on the southern side. It's all about those northern teams. OHM on the way through. Savage now holding fights on 2 sides. Honey Badger Nation on the low side of the Chiefs.
Yeah, multiple players being knocked. Chiefs are in an absolute crossfire. AHQ and Savage just going ham on them. And GM Blues just trying to, like, move in closer and not get the attention of Knights, but it's too late.
That's another placement for OMG. They had a tough start, but they're now holding on to it. We'll see where the circle goes. It's about to change once again. So for Liquid holding that nice center position, they're in a decent spot. They have OMG right next to them.
They've still got no
Na'Vi is in trouble, however. They have lost their vehicles. and they're completely stopped where they're at.
It's that Liquid counter at 0 kills, which is the scarier thing for them. Savage, oh, that's a nice line. Looking for the extra knock onto OHM. They got no easy way out. And it will be a double kill. There is still one alive, however. You can't see him. He's gillied in the middle of fire.
This open spot, where the circle is going, is going to be a nightmare. It's all open there. There's nothing you can do maneuverability-wise. It's all open field. There's no trees, nothing.
Is he the man, the early scout? They still have to know where OMG was. They have not moved in the last 5 to 10 minutes.
Every time he sees a vehicle, he inspects it. So I'm wondering if he's going to spot Silent.
He hasn't seen the vehicle yet. He ran lower.
Ran too far away. So for Larson, he has no idea that OMG is just a little bit further away from him.
But the rest of WTSG, they've got only one road, and that's through OMG to get into this circle. There is no other path to take.
OMG is not taking a fight here. They're going to hide this as best they can.
But this is fantastic now for Knights. Multiple kills, Myth are getting knocked. And they have no real way to try and survive this. Dre will line up for 2 easy finishes.
Nice.
Guarantee the points.
They're 15 on the board for the Knights. Now 4 total kills. Oh, I think they know something's up here.
Yep. Looking around. The nade. Lion K protected by the rock face. And they're turning their attention now towards OMG. Remember, there's still 18 teams left alive.
They know something's up here. WTSG must have seen something.
Nade flies high. Nade flies long. Are they going to deal with him?
I don't think that they can stand there for too long because Honey Badger Nation's pressuring them from the buildings. So Miracu, they have to have an idea that there's someone in the rocks, but they can't do anything about it right now.
They've run lower. They've run below OMG. If they ran up higher, they would have had a chance to shoot down into them. And now it's OMG with a better position. Knights, 4 AM, they're all coming in. The circle has pushed to the eastern side.
54 alive.
So this road has now become the highway of death.
Some toe shots happening. Boxic will go down. Anuktiv grabbing that one.
It's really good for
the
APG.
Knights. Wow, the Knights go down in 18th.
That's a huge. This is now going to start to mess around with a lot of the rankings around the 4th to 5th, especially if a Vanguard can continue to get these kills.
WTSG is still not relenting here. They know that there's got to be players around here hiding in the rocks. Lion K is relatively safe.
This is fantastic for OMG.
0 kills for them.
There's now only 14 teams left remaining. OMG, with every minute they survive, they're getting more and more points. It's too easy for them.
Lion K has no other options really than to sit here. We'll see if they're going to be forced to move, and really all these teams have taken a center position ahead of them. So OMG does not have an easy path, but I think they've done just enough. But for Team Gates, they're trying to move in with Ghost now.
Genji blacks out, 14th position. Yeah, just ran out of space. So Ghost, as you said, Team Gates, watching that western side. They'll have to get through Liquid a little bit further to their east. Very open hillside. They'll have to battle through, but Turtle whiffs a lot of his early attacks. So Ghost
smokes out immediately.
Thought they had a way out. They've got 2 players only on their feet.
OMG
and
got
Mossy,
the
they're
circle.
turning their attention. It's red zone created by Mossy. Everything towards Ghost.
That looks okay. That was very close, landing very, very nearby. They're just throwing smokes at the screen.
All right, I think WTSG are finally going to do it. Silent and Lion K, they have been waiting for this moment. Miracu,
Miracu!
Look to your side! You're right on top of him. Now they're going to shoot him. How long does it take? Have you switched
Lion
the
K's
weapon?
coming.
Now Lion K up above. The knock's in there, and OMG is eliminated in 13th position. WTSG into recovery mode.
Wow, that was so close. The smoke's now coming out in support. The reses are going to come, so that looks like WTSG will survive this. But Ghost are coming down to investigate. They heard these shots. They're being pressured away by Team Gates. WTSG on precarious ground here. Liquid looking good. They've got the circle once again, and now so many teams have to move their way.
Oh, Gates is coming in. Ghost, what do? You're being shot from above as Savage.
Wow.
The Chiefs actually getting over, so double knocks. AHQ getting involved in it as well.
Looks like Critical's the last man standing. 0 kills so far.
You've got Timid on one side and you've got Critical there too. Like, they're both trying to just run this rock face, but they're taking a lot of fire from far range. Finally, Myth will be knocked out as Minoru will die to Mumino.
Liquid not very active on the kill board just yet. We'll have to check in with to see what their total is. But we have not seen that 25 kill win that we were hoping for.
The molly's out. Timid couldn't finish the job. Savage at least had 1 knock.
Wow.
They are staying alive. The 3 players on the coast. Na'Vi, we left them about 10 minutes ago saying they're in a bad position, but hey, they're tried and tested. Here comes AHQ! Right into Na'Vi! Looking for some pass swipe. It won't happen. It's a slaughter! from the face of the earth.
Wow, that was an incredible and ill-informed push by AHQ. Na'Vi laying in wait, and they will destroy them. That was very impressive and a slaughter indeed. Na'Vi, having come from the brink themselves, now hold on and pick up a ton of kills.
Yeah, Scoom's able to pick up a couple himself too. Mumino, he had a great time before, but Team Gates finding another line to try and get into the back of AVG. And it's worked perfectly. They've actually got them pinned where AVG thought they were nice and covered.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Diaz will be knocked. Mumino will go down all the way.
From all sides, Avangar getting pressure now. Team Gates still trying to hold on. Liquid actually has lost James, and now he's trying to crawl away to safety. Ibiza trying to throw the smoke to cover off.
This is so problematic with Savage shooting from far and Gates coming in close. Liquid, this is a tight and sticky situation.
They have lots of pressure on them, but it looks like they still have a good spot. Wow, nice shot.
Okay,
Savage.
Pressure relieved for Team Liquid as Savage now with that knocker trying to get across the road. Remember, this circle will come in. There's almost no doubt about it. There's no cover on the roadside anymore, but it goes to the road. We're actually on the eastern side. CGW are the only ones with a building inside the zone.
Liquid wants to finish this off quickly. They know that Team Gates is there. Bees has been putting down cover. Only 2 kills so far.
Yeah, that's not enough for them.
Still 4 strong, however, but they're going to be pushed into this wide open area. Na'Vi picking up kill after kill now with 9.
Yeah, they're making a huge run. They were 5th position at the end of the last round, and it wasn't that much separating. It was only 500 points separating them and Team Liquid. They may make a run for 2nd right now.
iLame takes down Gaxi in the back line. That's going to be an issue for them. So for Liquid, they're going to have to make a mad dash with the vehicles. It's all on the line here. That Ghost UAS moving slowly. You have to be mindful of those empty vehicles, does Liquid.
This is ballsy.
This is a good spot for them. They have a little divot there they can use as well. They can't group too hard, but Savage has a line. The rest of Liquid, this is what we've seen from them. They've split out once before.
Savage have nothing. Savage have a burnt-out car to try and hide inside of, and Gates are trying to finish him off so they can push forward and focus 100% of their attention onto Team Liquid.
Mossy on the way through. The nades now coming out. Na'Vi making their push across the road. CGW, while quiet, has been played gatekeeper in this yellow cabin area. Liquid coming from behind.
Ubar real nice and close. He's looking for Marimo. The door will open up and then close. They know occupied.
No, thank you.
There are no rooms to let. But Na'Vi, they need a push. The circle will come in.
They have the ridge here as well, but they do not have the zone. The nades coming out nice inside.
Everyone's having to come in close through. As they are pushing in, WTSG, Honey Badger still out in the back. It's actually Fastrel inside the blue. Not only does he kill, he actually kills Bart all the way.
Drainies is down, the nades now following. Looks like the smokes need to come. Miramo goes down, that's a nice follow-up.
That's an opening for Na'Vi to try and get in. You've still got the remnants of Honey Badgers, not much of it left, as iLame will find him. Badgers are out. And WTSG are still pushing in. CGW getting approached on all sides up the hill. Gaxi, huge hits taken. It was iLame just letting rip with the AK.
Liquid, meanwhile, moving down the hill on their own. They've got 4 strong still. They are poised here. They've got great map control. So much happening around these yellow cabins. Now Na'Vi has taken a lot of kills, but also taken a lot of damage. Kurad is now the last man standing for CGW. WTSG trying to hold on. They've been taking casualty after casualty. They've had to prone out, try and med, but Liquid is very well positioned here.
Yeah, they're in the middle right now. So, like, what do you do? You're basically having 2nd to 4th position, battling it out with CGW, caught in the middle of the crossfire. And the circle, it still keeps CGW's edge of their building in, but Liquid have the priority.
They
have
good.
The most amount of the circle.
You have to wonder how much utility Na'Vi has left. CGW has been relatively quiet. They have 2 members left.
James knocked. That's going to make a small little opening for Na'Vi, but remember, they've still got 3 different sides looking to push him. Ubar looking for the head of Ibiza, cannot connect, however.
Na'Vi looking very good here. Now looks like James is going to be rezzed. The smokes do come out. Ibiza holding that front line along with Samty. CGW not moving. Na'Vi now looking to close this out.
They have to get WTSG. It's the only way to go forward. Molodoy is going to be the closest to him.
He's not looking.
WTSG, they are the kings of the snakes, and Molodoy in close range, not only knocked, but killed the whole way.
That's going to be huge for Liquid. They are now getting an advantage, 4 strong still. Gaxi gets that kill, but now WTSG and Liquid are poised to face off here.
He found the angle. He sees WTSG. Miracu was prepping the grenade. Gaxi's just looking for the line. iLame doesn't see over the hill, but they have to get into the building. CGW, they're waiting. Miracu's looking for a small line to get in. Wait for the right mark to hit. iLame, he can look up up the side. He doesn't know if they've come up the hill just yet, but WTSG, they have to come closer. They are all going to cluster around the building, and this will bring him into the line of fire of Liquid.
Oh my God!
Is Miracle actually inside the building with CGW?
They have to push him out. CGW's inaction is horribly destroying WTSG's game. They have to wait for them. They have to move now. It's left them too long.
Shared accommodation. Miracle wants to take over.
No.
He didn't see the last. Larson is alive. He'll get a line of sight onto Santi. He's waiting for it. He's just inside the circle as CGW clean up the rest.
Oh, wow.
High lane, he's got to get up. He's chunking. He's chunking, and he gets knocked out. Santi will take the kill. James will finally be finished off. Larson reveals his position. Upa also with the chunk. He's trying to prone himself in, and he's in. He's barely inside the circle.
Larson.
As it's now Larson, nated by Scoom. Out and forth. WTSG will go down.
Uba has a position. He's got a line of sight. Santi looking for him now. CGW still holding on. Uba on the wide flank.
He's looking at the side of Pizza. Back into cover.
Oh, it's so close. Liquid has an advantage, but just barely. They have a nade position on them. Uba has nothing left. He's got a med now. CGW has to come out and do something, but they've been so inactive. They're preventing anyone from moving around them. Liquid poised to take this game.
That they are. Every single point counts. Liquid to try and hold that second position. CGW, the wrench in the works as Uba, the sole survivor for Na'Vi. They know where he is. The smokes are coming out. We've got 16 seconds till the circle will come out as Scoom just blasts through the door. He's waiting for them to make the run through the smoke and get a couple of extra clips.
CGW just needs to start spraying in that direction. They have the information, but they're not doing anything with it. Uba has to just be careful not to get caught out by either of these teams. It's a center-based asterisk. All the circle is going to push directly on the center. Liquid has the advantage, but what? Oh, CGW loses one.
Yeah, they'll knock one down. That's not really the way Na'Vi wanted to roll. If he gets the kill, he'll be happy with it, and he will. There's 15 points. You'll take everything you can get. Samti crawling forward. He's so close to Kurad at the moment. Everyone bellies on the ground apart from Scoom and Ibiza. They're looking over the hill.
Uba made distance.
He's got a little bit closer around the corner. Kurad behind. Samti, if he gets distracted, it gives a chance for Uba. They are right next to each other. He'll look up and he'll knock him down. Two teams left, and there it is. It all goes the way of Team Liquid. 9 kills in the bag. How far will it push him up the leaderboard? A long way, but not all the way. That should still belong to Oh My God. They will be the victors here.
That was an amazing game from Team Liquid. They held on. They kept their composure. That circle came down to the very last moment. But Team Liquid grab a victory. But you can see the Chinese fans are losing their minds in the stands.
They're loving it. China #1 through and through. OMG have performed so beautifully throughout this entire first-person perspective tournament.
200 points. They closed the gap. Just barely not enough. But OMG holding on. You can see the live rankings there. I believe they are the winners here at PGI 2018.
What a performance. They came in, they said they wanted to be aggressive. It wasn't the greatest last day for them, but they held in close. They pulled in as many points as they could to hold that #1 spot.
Liquid's effort there was amazing. They made it so close at the end.
And I cannot wait to throw down there. OMG, a very well-deserved victory. I don't think anyone is gonna go against it. Great to see also a Chinese team having success in this first-person perspective.
It's huge I mean, now that we have this ability to kind of look back on this event, this has been massive for PUBG and a global esports. And there are your champions, OMG.
OMG, oh my God, what an absolutely fitting name, because that is the only thing that anyone in the audience or anyone of your competitors are thinking right now. Now, first question I have to ask, it's gotta be, winning 2018 PUBG Global Invitational, how does that feel?
能赢得此次 PUBG 2018年比赛，你们的作何感想？
我们很开心，然后做到了让你们开心的事情。
He feel pretty happy, and this is also a happy thing to share with all his fans.
Yeah, that actually leads perfectly into my next question, because coming into this event, especially the FPP portion of it, everyone's eyes were on the Western region, EU specifically. Not many people looked at China as to be like the top #1 competitors. How does it feel to really show all these people that your nation is absolutely on the map for PUBG?
打比赛之前，其实第一人称视角，大家的关注点都在西方的战队，但是你们赢得这场比赛，为中国人争了口气，对此你们有什么感想？
PUBG China #1。
Now, I would be remiss to bring attention to not just your team's incredible performance, but particularly you, Lion K, absolutely dominating the competition. Definitely you're putting yourself out there as potentially the best player in the world. Do you specifically have anything that you want to say to your teammates, to your fans, to everyone out there now applauding your performance?
接下来这个问题就要问一下小狮子了。小狮子可以说是当之无愧的最有价值的队员。对于这场比赛，小狮子有什么想法跟大家讲的吗？我很尊敬在场的所有的选手。能拿到这个击杀王，我很荣幸。然后感谢就是各位粉丝的热烈支持。He respects all his opponents and he thanks to all his fans from the world. Appreciate. He feel pretty happy.
Well, OMG, congratulations once again. Absolutely dominating performance. Now, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere because we are going to have the award ceremony afterwards in just a little bit. But before that, I'm going to throw it back down to the analyst desk to help finish up this final game.
That's right, thank you very much, Cameron. Of course, OMG told us at the very beginning in China they were called Little FaZe. But now it seems like OMG gets to say that FaZe is Little OMG. The champions of the FPP tournament here, OMG truly puts themselves on the map. They not only represented their own team, they represented China. They said that from the very beginning, and they've done China proud.
What a journey it has been for them indeed. Such a beautiful, beautiful butterfly coming in from that chrysalis. We didn't expect absolutely anything like this to happen. This is a tremendous moment for PUBG because for us, for all our predictions, thrown up in the air and blown high, sky high rather, a Chinese team winning first person in the first major of PUBG ever.
I think it's huge also because we're big FPP fans, but also I think going forward, I think competitive, it's going to be huge in the whole world because showing that it's not just the teams that started by adapting to FPP, only playing FPP in the leagues. Now they around the world, also in Asia specifically, they have adapted it as well, and now playing it, they started playing it 50-50 in the leagues, and now they play it more and more. In the future, we might only see FPP. China here, they're defending now. They're defending champions.
That's
in
right.
the future, OMG, I'm really looking forward to the future. It's going to be amazing.
Of course, imagine that world where later on down the line you get OMG and FaZe going up against one another.
Woo.
I'm sure a lot of people may look forward to that in the future. No doubt that may happen in the future as well. Of course, though, not only has OMG put themselves on the map, China has been represented so well, but individually, each of these players had their spot. Lion KK, Zhao Hai, Zhao Rong, Silent BT, all played a pivotal role here in their execution and their performance.
That's what they said in the interview as well, right? They played perfectly together. Their cohesion on the team is just perfect. They know what each other is doing. The synergy is through the roof.
It's a mathematical game that they're playing, and they know exactly what their strengths are, and they're playing beautifully by it, enabling Lion to get his amazing frags. Everybody supporting him in which way they could, and they all showed up no matter what. It wasn't just Lion KK showing up, it was the entire team, and they all made it possible. PUBG, a team effort, and it is for a team that has truly deserved it.
I mean, you make a great point, Avenger. We listened to the interview with them before. Zhao Hai quoted to have said, now when we play together, we can read each other's minds. And it really felt like that. Every single time they were able to execute some of these team plays, flanks on around, they just looked phenomenal.
They looked perfectly phenomenal. What I've kind of missed to see today is to play the same game they had first day. The first day, I mean, I think it might be the best run ever, and I doubted that it's going to be beaten anytime like in the future. Like we're talking years ahead. First, second, first. 55 kills in 4 games. That's absolutely insane.
And what's more beautiful is the fact that they popped off on the second day as well. They did make a statement at the end of the day, and they said at the end of the first day, and they said, what are we going to do tomorrow? Be even more aggressive. And you know what? They kept true. They didn't back off. You know, before that, the style when you know you're so far ahead is to slow down and you know, kind of play a slower paced game. But nah, this team has continued their incredible momentum throughout the day number 2.
At the same time, though, going back to that game, Team Liquid being able to pick up the victory at the very end. And I think, again, it's kind of a testament to Team Liquid to be able to make up the points difference. Just 200 points sat between them and OMG, and after day 1's performance of OMG, we didn't expect anyone to get anywhere near where they were.
Not even close. I mean, that's what I said when we get into this game. They had to be out before top 18, and Liquid had to pop off with a win with 20+ kills. They had 9. It was somewhat close, but still OMG kind of survived it. So coming into this, fantastic play by them.
Coming on the podium, however, it's going to be Team Liquid, and we're very proud as Europeans to welcome them on that indeed. And there you go, the final rankings are afoot. Team OMG looking pretty Liquid there, and WTSG, another European team that I personally am very proud to see on that stage.
Navi and Vanguard making up for the TPP performances as well with 4th and 5th. One thing important to note there as well, Ghost Gaming managed to get top of the NA pack for a long time here in FPP. We had Honey Badger Nation leading that pack, but it seemed like Ghost Gaming managed to eke it out at the end.
We can also see it here in the player kills. It's full of all the top teams. We have Lion, of course, 34 kills. That is insane. He has the double amount of the 3rd and 4th kill together.
I tell you something though,
insane.
The top of the survival time for almost the whole tournament was OMG, OMG, OMG.
Yeah, I saw
Liquid
that,
almost was able to beat them out at the very end. Very close there, but look at that. Lion KK is going to take double MVP. What a surprise.
I think it comes to no surprise that he was able to achieve that indeed. Beautiful, beautiful gameplay out of him. I'm going to be watching these VODs again. For sure, watching Lion's game closely so I can learn something about it.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. It is time. We're almost wrapping things up here for PGI. However, let's head up to the stage as we have the award ceremony to begin.
Thank you very much, James. Yes, indeed, it is time to start off the final award ceremony, this time for FPP here at 2018 PGI. And I would also once again like to invite back on stage, it's going to be from PUBG themselves, Changhan Kim and Brendan Green.
Guten Abend, Berlin. So before we give out some awards, I want to say some thanks. I said on the opening night that this is a dream come true for me, but dreams don't come true without some hard work and dedication. And boy, do I have that with the PUBG team. So please join me in giving a round of applause to this man right here who believed in my vision for a Battle Royale game, to the PUBG team, all our partners and crews that helped put on this really, truly amazing event, all the talent who have really outdid themselves over the last 5 nights, and finally to the players and the teams that came here and gave us 5 days of truly great action. Thank you all so very much, and thank you all here in the arena and in Twitch chat and all the other chats for supporting this. Thank you all very much.
Beautiful awards, but before we hand out these nice pans that you can see behind us, I'm going to be awarding, once again, the Intel Awards, MVP Awards for most kills, as well as an MVP award for longest time alive. First up for most kills with 34 of them, it is, of course, nobody else but OMG's Lion K. Now, Lion, don't go anywhere because, once again, it's going to be a double MVP where most survived with 4 hours, 3 minutes, and 32 seconds over the course of 8 games. OMG's Lion K. Thank you very much, Lion. Can I ask you to leave the stage at this time, because you are going to bring up the next place team? Yeah, leave the stage, please. Thank you very much. Now, in third place here, 2018 PGI FPP, with 49 kills, 2,875 points. It is WTSG. Unfortunately, I have to ask you to leave the stage again because coming up next in second place with 54 kills, total of 3,220 points, and of course the final win of the game, it is going to be Team Team Liquid, congratulations. Thank you guys very much. I'm going to have to ask you to leave the stage as well. Because, finally, first place team, FPP 2018 PGI, 70 kills, 3,425 points from China, OMG!